What's good, everyone? What's good? I want to speak about a few things in this video. Um, yeah, I want to speak about a few things in this video. And before I get into that, I want to just remind everyone to stay on your routine. Keep doing your qigong. I notice when I do my qigong and my energy, because I've been doing this for the past. Tomorrow's gonna be 2 weeks since I've been doing it. Before I had took a little hiatus off of it, which I don't know why the fuck I did that, but I had took a hiatus off of it, and which was about a little bit over a month. So I would have been doing it all together for almost 3 months now if I would have stayed on it. But I took a hiatus, I got off, and then I'm 2 weeks into it. So in about a week, I'll be where I left off. So I've noticed like a lot. I don't know. When you do this energy exercises, you notice you feel more calm throughout the day. You have more clarity of thought, and this is just the beginning. So the reason I'm saying all this because I just want to tell you guys that the benefits of this are they're really working. Like I know it's like my skin's a lot more smoother and shit, and this is all due to the energy. Like I, it, I don't really want to get too much into it. I'm about to make another video on it, but I just wanted to say that because the benefits of this, there's a reason why you can't go into a store and look up information about energy exercise. It's like I went to Barnes and Noble, right, to go see if I could find a book on qigong, just to see if because I didn't feel like going to the online and buying it. Well, that's not the reason. I just didn't want to pay for it. So I went to Barnes and Noble. They didn't have no fucking books on qigong, and it said on the internet they had one, but I went there, it wasn't there. So like, there's not that much information about it in the West, and the reason why there's not that much information about it is because of the benefits it entails. Because once you take it to another level, to the highest level, which you have to be doing it for years to get to this level. This is like it's like bodybuilding. You don't get to be a bodybuilder that's lifting 300-pound plates in 3 months just because you went to the gym for 3 months. It doesn't make sense. You got to go for years to get that. So it's the same with the qigong. So once you take it to that level, that's when it starts transforming you on your DNA. Like I've been doing it for a couple of weeks, and I already know clarity of thought. I notice my skin's getting a little bit more clear. Just little things I know. I have more energy. I could walk around more, and just a lot of things. And this is just the beginning of it. So that's why I say you guys want to start doing this every day, tomorrow or in the day. No, I'm busy tomorrow and the day after. So probably on the 27th, in a few days from now, I'm gonna come at you niggas with a video of a fragrance. They call it fragrant qigong. And please do not get lost in the names. The names is qigong is not Chinese. Qigong is not Indian. Last time I moved. When was the last time moving your hand a certain direction is a certain culture? It doesn't make sense. The Masons just capitalize off of it so they can make money and brainwash people and try to um, circumvent people from getting the knowledge and information by restricting it and saying only the monks can have it or only the people of the bourgeoisie and all this dumb shit. It's all control. So fuck the names. You're at the end of the day, we're moving energy. It's very simple, but at the same time, it's not because certain energy portals correlate to different organs within the energetic stream. So you don't want to just be pushing energy to certain places. Like this is why I say you really need to know what you're doing when you're doing these work. Don't just be moving energy, because if you start pushing energy towards your sacral chakra or your throat chakra or your head, it may give you a headache. You may have problems with your sexual organs. So this is why you got to be careful to regulate it, because this is some strong energy. So they don't tell you all this. A lot of you niggas probably look at me like you're surprised by me speaking like this because you think it's just some shit like some corny new age. Yo, no, this is if you don't fuck with the energy, because this energy is not good or bad. It's energy. Electricity is not good or bad, but electricity could power your home, and electricity can also fry your ass up. So you see what I'm saying? It's the energy. So this is the same with the key energy. It's not good or bad. It's how you use it. This is why I'm saying it's this key energy is not going to make you a more um like if you got issues, you got to deal with those issues. The only thing the energy is going to do if you build, because this is why I say it's part of the yoga, fasting, the qigong. It's all part of it, because if you just if you don't deal with your problems and you just add the energy, it'll just make you more better at being in your negative energy. So you'll be the better dickhead, a better asshole, a better whatever. Like you said, we got to deal with the emotional issue. So yeah, this energy, some serious energy. So this is what I'm telling you guys. Like I'm gonna do a fragrance qigong, and I'm gonna right now I'm working on the words on how I can change this, because I don't want to like qigong and fucking all these words that they have. I'm trying to break that, because that's what's keeping the information from fully being out there, because the Masons have programmed it and controlled it. And when people hear it, they have a perception about it, which is that's not what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because you eat food, you go to Taco Bell, you consume that bullshit. Why do you consume it? Because you're on lunch break and you want to have energy. So when you come back, if you go to lunch break and you don't eat anything, you're gonna feel naked. You're gonna feel like, man, I didn't eat at lunch. You're gonna feel more depressed, probably. You're gonna have low energy. So this is why I say go to lunch break. So what the fuck you think qigong energy is? It's I'm having my lunch break. I'm having my dinner. It's the same reason I'm eating. You guys like to eat. You think eating is normal. Qigong is the same thing, because this is what's generating energy to make it so we can get to this next level. So we don't need food. You have more energy, and then as you take it to the next level, you become more of a what they call super being, or high. Not even super being. There ain't no fucking word for it, but you become like you have more. You transcend what the normal human body can do. So I just want to say that before I get into this shit. But there's a lot of shit that's been going on YouTube, right? And they're being right now, the government, the system, Illuminati, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they're attacking a lot of people on YouTube right now. And you may see a lot of content creators. There's one content creator, his name was Dolo. He they're really attacking him. And what you guys need to understand is he's not the only one they're doing. They're just doing him on that level because of the information he's bringing and how much of a threat that he's doing to them. So it depends on who you are, but everyone's being attacked. You guys need to understand this. And the reason they're doing this is because we're in a different time, we're in a different energy. And like the people who run the system, imagine somebody who like a bodybuilder who was around a bunch of midgets. And the bodybuilder had all this muscle and he was bullying all these midgets. And then eventually the midgets design some technology where they could put a chip in their kneecap, and then they have more strength than the bodybuilder. Once they do that, the bodybuilder is going to start feeling threatened and insecure. And like, oh my goodness, they have this. And then the bodybuilder is going to try to find ways to stop that. So this is what the government thought they had this shit on lock. But with the all possibility, with infinite possibilities that can happen in reality, anything can happen. You could be a billionaire, be broke. You can be the healthiest and be anything can happen. So right now, there's like that possibility of their system being torn down. It's starting to open up, go through the crack is starting to get bigger. And right now they're kind of threatened and they're scared. And there's still a long way we gotta go, though. Still a long way, but it's getting there. Like there's, even though the world is so fucked, it's like the crack is opening, and it's gonna take a long time, but we're gonna get there. And they see that crack opening, and they're scared. So now they gotta hamper down on the attack, and it's gonna get worse. They're gonna right now it's just attacking the YouTubers. Eventually, they're gonna start changing laws and doing a whole bunch of other shit with the money, but they have to attack because we're in a different time right now. And since we're in a reality where anything could happen, what they thought could never happen because they thought they could run this shit forever because it was been running for 2,000 years. That's starting to show that that can't go on no more, or there's a possibility that we can break through and get this, which it's gonna happen. It may take a long fucking time, but it's gonna happen. And so now they're attacking people because they weren't attacking this brother's channel months ago or years ago, but they're attacking his channel now because of it's not what, just because he's been saying deep shit all this time, but the response that people are given the channel, and depending, because it's not just what his channels, all channels, how people respond to it, and the energy that we're in. And the energy that we're in, all of their programs, they're tearing down. Like nobody cares about shit like the Grammys and Hollywood, nobody cares about that shit no more. Their movies aren't good. And the reason their movies aren't good isn't because they're making the movies any different. Like a lot of you guys say, the reason their shit's collapsing is because they don't know how to make movies back in the day. That's not really the case, because even if you get the old ass movies from back in the 90s, do you watch those every day? No, you don't watch those shits every day. You don't say, oh, I want to. Sometimes you may want to feel like watching it, but you don't watch it every fucking day. So obviously it's the energy back in the time. We're not in that energy. So even if they make the same type of formula as they did in the 90s now, it's not going to get reciprocated now. Like if they release fucking Rush Hour 5 right now, it's not going to get reciprocated. But if they released it 10, 20 years ago, it would have been reciprocated. So it's not the movie, it's the energy. So we're in a different energy right now. So all the shit that they're doing, it doesn't work. And all the shit that we're doing, it works, because we're in a different energy. This is why the average content creator can get more views than CNN. How the hell can I go on CNN's YouTube channel and they release some bullshit ass narrative article and it only gets 200,000 views? That shit should be getting 200 million. If you compare it back in the day, the type of energy when everybody was on that shit. How does a content creator doing pranks get the same views as CNN? So when you see that, it's getting threatened. So now this is why they have to start playing with people's views, because they don't want you to think. They have to create a narrative, because like when the whole 2020 situation happened, everyone kept disliking the comments. So it was fucking up their narrative and how they want the reality to be seen. So they had to get rid of it. So this is what we're going into. We're going into a time where they have their fake ass bullshit, Kai Cenat, Jay-Z, and Super Bowl. They have that bullshit, but that's the fake narrative. That's what they want you to think everybody fucks with. But then there's the reality where if you look at the reality, you see CNN's channel gets the same views as a prank channel. So the reality is people are paying attention to not what they want you to think they are. So now this is where they have to start playing with views. They got to start trolling and making shit, like just disrupting shit to a point where information and knowledge isn't being pushed out. Like they fuck with my channel too, like, but they fuck with me they fuck with everyone on a different level. And like for example, my subscribers, my shit's been at 4 something for like, remember when I told you guys I got that email after I did that live stream? I got that email and they said your channel is you're not going to be able to get the views that you're going to be able to get on your channel are going to be limited. You're not going to be in the algorithm. They were pretty much telling me I was shadow banned without actually banning my channel, because they said I don't have a professional channel and I need to. It was a weird email. I'm gonna post. I don't know exactly what they said, but they were on some bullshit. And the funny thing about that is, this is after that time my subscribers were being fucked with. So my subscribers have been at 415 for like the past like 3-4 months. But when I look at my views are going up. Like every single, like I have a video like a week ago and it will still be getting views. Like it'll be at like 150. Then in 4 days it'd be like at 170. And I'm like, how is my views going up so steadily? And like I get heavy promotion because like I post the way I set my shit up, because this is a spiritual thing for me. So a lot of shit that you guys see, it's playing out physically, but it's spiritual. So like I create it where like I'm gonna get my energy back regardless. So I'm not worried about them. I'm gonna get my energy back. So this is why my views stay going up and everything, and my shit's still being seen. But then if I look at my subscribers, it's like I think my subscribers are going up. I think they're just fucking making it where it's not showing. Because my shit will go down, like, and then every now and then I'll lose 2 subscribers, and then I'll gain 2, and I always stay in the same fucking area. I would never go like stay stagnant or go up or go down. It will always stay within like it's weird. So this is telling me that they're fucking with my shit, and like, and then mind you, my views are going up still, and I go on other content creators' channel, and when I go on their channel, What do I see? I see them with more subscribe, and I'm not hating. They some of these subscribers, they'll have less subscribers than me, and then they'll get more subscribers over a course of like a few months, and I'll still be at the same. And then when I look at their views would never be where my views are at. Like their views literally stay at like they barely get 100, or at most they'll be getting the same views. Like the views that I'm getting is the equivalent. Like you won't ever see somebody with 100,000 views per video have 500 subscribers. It wouldn't make sense. Maybe they'll have one video, but every video. So this tells you the subscriber and the views kind of correlate when it comes to the algorithm. Why do my views correlate with somebody whose subscribers is more than me, and people whose subscribers is around me, they got less views? Like my subscribers correlate on average with seeing how the algorithm works with somebody who has near 1,000 views or subscribers or more. But when I see motherfuckers, like, it's just weird, dude. It's hella weird. It's hella weird. Like they're fucking with my shit. Yeah, they fucking with my shit. So like, that's why I'm not really tripping though. I'm not really tripping. I just want to call it out so you guys can see like what I'm seeing. Because when you talk about YouTube and them shadow banning, and they have to do this because millions of dollars is billions and trillions of dollars is on the line. Like a lot of the programs in this system need to survive, and the only way they can survive is if people are stupid. So once you start waking people up, then people aren't going to participate, and then it even goes down to the criminal industry. They profit off crime. This is why they have the mafia and the cartel. The mafia and the cartel are the fucking government. They need people to do drugs. This is why the DEA puts drugs. They need police to stop the drug addicts so they can make money and energy locking you up. It's all fucking connected. So like, I'm telling you, that once you start waking people up to this, then their system starts losing energy. They don't have no more power. This is why they want everyone to be ignorant and be fucking dumb. This shit is crazy. And then you guys got to understand, the people who run the system, they're very mentally ill. A lot of these niggas, like they like to fuck children. They're into very sick, sadistic shit. They watch a lot of crazy shit on the dark web. Like a lot of these people, they're traumatized. They're desensitized, they're traumatized, and they're very like, they're fucked up. They're not really in the mind. Because when you run a system like this and you have access to so much, this can create a lot of mental illness and sickness. So when you see these motherfuckers, like how they were attacking this nigga's channel, you see how they were dropping all that nasty sick shit. If you guys didn't see that live stream, well, they took it down, but that shit was hella crazy. Like they're showing you what they are, because like this is all a psyop. I'm even down to think, because that nigga Dolo, he's not telling you guys everything. Understand that there's a lot of shit that's going down. Like he's not telling you guys everything. When he tells you, when he shows you these trolls, there's a deep spiritual warfare that's going on behind the scenes, and like that he's not telling you. And I'm thinking it's down to like the shadow government people. They're probably attacking him or doing some type of shit where it's playing out and manifesting in the physical, maybe as trolls. Or I'm not saying this is what's going on, but it could be. Like I think something's going deeper. Like it's some deep shit that's going on, and that nigga's like, he's like a program they sent to him to do this. Like the dude who's fucking that, I guess he got beef with, or he's trying to knock off, that nigga's a puppet. And I feel like he's probably was sent in that, like he probably doesn't even know that he was sent. That's how deep it goes. Like he probably just thinks that he's just hating on this nigga, but it's probably some deeper shit. So like that's why I'm thinking this nigga got hella like, he's like, I'm gonna go and kill this nigga, and he's all like irate, because I feel like it's some deep spiritual warfare that's going on that's deeper
than what because he's not he even said like he's not telling you that guys everything, and you just see what the trolling and shit. But this shit I think is some deep spiritual warfare that's going on, and that's probably why he got hella upset. He's like, I'm gonna go and boom 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 do what I gotta do. But like this shit's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta, because once you get even Rod Hayes is being attacked too. If you seen that, if you go on, there's this one, what's that bitch name? Isis Wisdom, that dykehead ass bitch. She talks about new age and spirituality. She was on Black Magic's channel. She said Rod Hayes fucking sexually assaulted some girl. And if you look at the video, go on Isis Wisdom channel, ISIS Wisdom. That's her channel. Look at Rod Hayes sexual assault victim tells all. If you go on that video and you see this bitch, so-called victim, this stupid bitch break down that, oh, how he fucking did all this shit. She's looking down, reading out a paper. Like she's explaining a sexual assault, which is, if you go through a sexual assault, I'm sure it's the worst thing you could fucking go through in your damn life. You're explaining the worst thing you could go through in your fucking life, looking down like you're reading out a paper. And some of you guys may say, well, she's not reading a paper. Well, even if she wasn't reading a paper, the fact that you're explaining something that's the worst thing you've probably been through in your fucking life, and you're looking down every few seconds, shows you that you're not really invested into what happened. Because some people be so distressed where they can't even speak about it and they'll be tearing up. You're looking down like it's not that serious, and you're explaining how he did all this shit like you're reading notes. And it's funny because the video came out after the bitch and fucking Rod Hayes was arguing back and forth, and I guess the bitch ran out of shit to say to rebel against the rebuttal against what he was saying, because they were arguing and shit. She had nothing to say, so she came out with this shit, which was probably a setup, because I've seen situations where it was a setup, and not just, oh, I just thought. I've seen situations where after the fact evidence came out and it was a setup and it was all fake and bullshit, and like it was there and then it was just ignored. So it's like it's I'm saying it's some type of witchcraft that's going on, and this is why you guys got to be careful. If you're, well, most of you guys don't have to be careful, but when you start building a platform, you have to be careful, because this is how they got Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh said in one of his live streams, I remember years ago, this nigga said that he went to a fucking a convention where he was doing his events. And I remember he said his security guard met him at one of his events, and his security guard used to be like a celebrity security guard. And I'm like, how the hell what are the odds of you getting a security guard who used to work for celebrities? That doesn't make sense. So obviously, and it's funny how like when this nigga went down, when they took him down and his whole fiasco went down and his channel got removed, it's funny how the security guard, he's like turned his back on him and lied and did a whole bunch of snake shit. And his security guard was working with a whole bunch of celebrities. So his security guard was a puppet, because they have certain puppets that they like, lawyers, doctors, security. When you're a celebrity or you have a high status, these so-called, I don't want to say the J word, but these people who run this shit, they want you to choose certain lawyers, judges, security, and they want you to choose certain people because they have those people in their program, and they can send them out, and then they can set up narratives and certain operations. They can set these up easier because the person who you're working with is on their team, so they can just give them intel. So like that's the same shit what happened with that nigga Young Pharaoh. They probably sent that nigga there, and some of these niggas don't even know that they're a puppet. That's how deep it can get. That's how deep they can get. Some of them don't even know they're a puppet. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. You guys got to be careful, because the system is set up in a certain way. In order to be a lawyer, doctor, or priest, whatever the fuck you want to be, anything, it's a program. And if you don't fit that program, you can't get in it. So once you're in that program, you have to play out certain shit. So this allows them to do things without them having to fucking be there. And then they can create situations and psyops, and now Nature Boy's locked up in jail and all this other crazy shit. And I'm not saying some of these people didn't do what they did. Some of these people did do what they did, but they were set up to create a situation to do that shit. And some of these people didn't even do shit, and they just straight up lying on them. So you guys got to like look at it from all like, because they're trying to dismantle the information, because like I said at the beginning, the crack is opening wider and wider. It's going to take a while, but it's opening. And what they thought was impossible is becoming possible. What they thought was impossible is becoming possible, because anything can happen in this reality. All possibility, anything can happen. So their system right now, it can crumble and change in an instant. And they know this, but they have to sell you the idea that it's not going to be like that. And they don't do this by telling you, oh, we're going to stay here. They do this by action, by making you have to wake up, go to 9 to 5, and making you feel defeated. But that shit can all change. It may take a while, but this shit's breaking. People are waking the fuck up. And it's not even that people are waking up, because people don't even have to wake up. Cancer, disease, and illness will kill them. But if you're conscious and you're awake, then you're going to know what you're going to be the one that survive, even if you aren't even healthy. If you have a mission and a purpose, the spirit's gonna make you live long and fulfill that, if it means taking care of this shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why they don't like, they're blocking. I feel like they blocking my channel because how I'm breaking down the whole breatharian shit, and like, cause they fucking with my channel, and like I think it's because I'm speaking on this breatharian stuff, and they don't want motherfuckers on this. And it's crazy because when I made that live stream, that one live stream, they fucking shut my shit like literally a few hours after that live stream. They sent me an email, and like that right there made me feel kind of weird. I was kind of like, why the fuck is somebody watching my channel? Like, I'm just speaking my fucking mind. I'm just a regular person, so-called regular person, speaking my mind, and these motherfuckers watching my channel got upset and playing games. Like, that's hella weird. I'm not even monetized. He said, bro, you're about to blame Jewish people. I'm about to blame whoever the fuck I want to blame. Yeah, before, like, just to let everyone, like, don't come up with this whole trolling shit. I'm not really a reasonable person. Like, when it comes to the knowledge and information, then I'm about it, and I'm respectful, and I'm humble, and I'm not fuck humble, but I'm on it. But when it comes to this regular shit, the regular world, I'm not reasonable. I'm mentally ill. If you say something to do something I don't like, I may insult you, hurt your feelings, or at the very least, and I don't want to harm you. So just leave me the fuck alone with this bullshit. But if it's spiritual, then I'm for it. But don't bring that regular world energy into this shit. We were just speaking some high vibrational shit. You come in talking about some negative shit, spewing some racist shit. Who said that I said I wasn't racist? I am kind of racist. The fuck? I don't hate. I have people watch my channel that are white, black, Asian, with all over, and I respect them. White person who watch my channel, I respect them. Mexican, black, I respect them. But when it comes to the real world, and to be truthful, I am racist. If I see a white person and I'm walking down the street and he bumps into me, I'm gonna feel different than if a black person bumps into me. I'm still gonna be pissed off at the black person and beat his ass, but the white person, I'm gonna be like, okay, fuck this stupid ass. You know what? And I'm gonna be kind of, and I'm like that. So I'm just being real. I am kind of racist. I kind of am like that. So I am judgmental. I am kind of racist. She's like, what's wrong with me? Right now, what's wrong with me is you. Once you leave, then I'm perfect. And I'll probably be perfect before you leave. And you don't want me to be perfect before you leave, because I'm gonna get you the fuck up out of here with the smile on my face, because I'm perfect, remember? Or you are blaming conspiracies. I'm not gonna blame conspiracies on Jews. They are the conspiracy. They're not even real. They shouldn't even be here. That is the conspiracy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I want to say, like, it is what it is, though. People are just stupid. He's like, am I insane? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for real, time is speeding up so fast. It's so sad. Remember, you said it's going to speed up a lot. What I'm starting to realize is when you're on breatharian consciousness, time doesn't even matter. Like if you stay on this path, I'm telling you, qigong, yoga, fasting, if you make this a lifestyle, you wouldn't even time would time is would let me just tell you this. There's people living on this planet right now that don't experience time. When you reach a certain level of consciousness, time doesn't exist to you. And when time doesn't exist to you, your reality has to shape and form to cater to you at a more faster pace. So like everything you get, everything you need, you get. Because we living in a dream. This is a dream world we're living in. So anything is possible. So like, you know, when you're dreaming and you like run and you like running away from somebody and they keep finding you, that's because that person in your dream is you. You can't run away from yourself. So like this reality in a small version of it is kind of you. So like once you're in that breatharian consciousness state, you're you're gonna attract what is you, what belongs to you at a faster rate, and time doesn't even exist no more. Like you like when you're, let me just say, when you're drunk and you're high and you're just in a state where you're just very happy, you're not worried. Are you worried about time? No, you're not. Does a drug addict worry about time? Does somebody who just fucking hit the lottery worry about time? Does somebody who just got some spiritual realizations and remove their depression and anxiety, are they worrying about time at that specific? No, they're not, because they're in a certain state of consciousness. So when you're in a certain state of consciousness, time doesn't even exist. There's people living on this planet right now who don't even live by time like that no more. It doesn't even matter, because you know what you're doing, you're always doing something, and then you're living in that breatharian state. This is why when you're breatharian, you're not part of this world like that no more. You're not on the same program, because you're going to be sleeping less, you're not going to be eating, you're not going to be consuming as much beyond just food. So therefore, you're not looking at time the same way. Everyone's looking at time based on, I gotta go to work, I gotta go this, I gotta eat dinner, I gotta be here, I gotta be here. But if you're just living a life, nigga, like you're chilling. Every minute, every hour, every second is lunch break, or it's fucking, you just got off. You know when you just get off or you're just chilling? That's their whole life when you're a breatharian. Your guys, you chill, but then you got to go eat. You got to go to the bathroom. You got to go work. You got to, all these things is based on your consumption and your desire. When you're a breatharian, your desires don't rule you. So you're not working for your desires. You just participate in them whenever you want to. And you don't need, because you don't even need to go to the bathroom when you're, but so you're just living and being. So time doesn't matter. This is a different whole reality. And it ain't like, oh, I'm like, gonna go in the woods, I'm gonna be a monk, I'm gonna live. And no, if you want to do that, you can do that. But like there's breatharians who like I got living in mansions and fucking chilling, got cars, and just then they live in their life. They just not consumed by it. Their fucking desires and shit. And when you get to that state, you don't even want shit like that no more. You don't want shit, because your consciousness, that is enough joy. That's enough. That feeling you get, that's enough. You don't need anymore. You can go to walk at a park. I remember I was on my fast. I was on like day 23. It was on my 42-day fast. I was at the park just walking around. Just shit was fun. I didn't have my phone or nothing. It felt like I was high off some fucking like some dope. Like I felt like high. I was just sitting there looking at the trees and just chilling. I could just sit there. I could imagine doing qigong all fucking day. That's how the motherfuckers be feeling. It's not like niggas out like you guys looking at it from the outside. Oh, that's corny. They're just sitting here just doing. But them motherfuckers having the time of their goddamn life, because it's a midday day in heaven mentally. But you guys looking out like they corny. They don't got their phone. They don't got that. But they looking at you like, oh, they need a phone to be happy. And you look at them, they don't got no phone. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a different world. It's like you looking at a dog. How the fuck can a dog sniff that dog? That's nasty. Or how can that dog have sex with that dog? That dog but that's a dog. So obviously a dog is going to be attracted to a dog. But when you're a human, you're like, that's gross. But it's the consciousness is in it. So it is what it is. You just gotta, that's the thing. But it takes time to build to that state. It takes time. Like me, I've been doing yoga for 3 years.
3 years I've been doing yoga every single day. February 8th, 2021. That was my first day I started yoga. Before that, I had headaches 24/7. I couldn't even concentrate. I had to be drinking alcohol every day. You guys used to see me with the alcohol. That was back in 2020, before I was doing yoga. You guys don't see me with that shit no more. You guys see me drinking and shit. I remember I was hella fucked up and like you guys see me, but now I don't do that shit no more because like over time I released the headaches. And to be honest, like I had headaches every day, 24/7. Every fucking day. I was so high so much off pain pills and fucking drinking alcohol just to numb the pain. But then as I was doing the yoga, gradually I stopped doing less and less. And to this day, I don't even remember when the headaches disappeared. I think it was around sometime around the end of 2022. If I could kind of remember, I don't even remember because it was so quick. It was like, it wasn't quick, but it was so like when you're healing and you're getting into the state, this is why I'm able to explain this state of the breatharian type, because I've tapped into, it's not like tapping into it or not, like it's a gradual process. And so it's like it takes time to get there. So you just got to do the yoga, the stretching, and just really fucking keep at it as a lifestyle, and over time you're going to see these changes. That's why I say it's good to get started right now and start right now every day. And I'm gonna come at you guys with that Qigong energy workout in a few days, and I want to show you guys like and this is gonna be a very simple one, because the other ones could get a little bit too confused. It's not confusing, but it takes more like energy work. Like you got to move around a lot more. I'm gonna do one that's like quick movements. You can just do it sitting down. This one you don't have to stand up, but you can just do it sitting down. It's gonna be and it's very powerful too. It's very powerful. You got to do it. When you do it for like a week straight, you start feeling the energy build up more, because each workout, each spiritual exercise you do, it's adding more energy. So when you first do it, you may feel a little bit of the energy, but as you keep doing it, you're going to build, it's going to build, it's going to build. And some of you guys may not feel the energy at first. This is why you have to really like you have to feel the energy. Like, but when I did it, because I did Qigong years ago, and what made me not get off doing it 2 years ago was because I didn't feel the energy. Like I was doing the movements with my hands. Like when you do the movements, I was just doing it. I didn't feel nothing. But back in October, I remember I started doing it and I started feeling the energy. And I'm thinking it's because it's the yoga. Over the years as I was doing yoga, I was clearing up my energy channels, and it was allowing me to, because this was before 2020. This was in 2021 when I did Qigong for the first time, and I didn't feel no energy. But 2 years later, I did it, and I started feeling the energy, and it's because of the yoga. This is why I say you gotta do everything, because the yoga, when I was doing it before, my muscles was blocking the energy, so I wasn't able to feel the energy. But as over time, as I was cleansing and doing the yoga to release the blockage, the energy was able to flow within me because the blockage was being released. The hose was being released, so the energy could flow. Now I can practice Qigong more effectively because I can actually feel the energy. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I say everything is important: the Qigong, the fasting, and the yoga. He's like, you sitting in the backseat of a hoopty trying to stream. Okay, the fuck? I don't care. At least I got a fucking hoopty. At least I got a car. There's people that are walking right now. I seen somebody on a bicycle like 3 times. The fuck? I'm happy as fuck. I have something. I remember a time I didn't even have a motherfucking vehicle. And I was like, damn, I wish I had a car. The fuck? And I've drove nicer vehicles than you've ever drove, nigga. I drove a fucking Range Rover Sport. I drove a fucking 2022 Benz on my channel too, nigga. You probably drove a fucking Kia 2020 Kia. You think that, oh, I got a 2020 Kia. I have a 2002. You got a 2020 piece of shit car, nigga. Get your ass out of here. The fuck? And I got this car for fucking $300, you dumbass. This is a cheap car. I didn't have to go to work a 9 to 5 and slave for this car. There's people out here, they gotta go to some bum ass job every day, wake up every morning to go see some stank ass breath boss and answer to that nigga just to get money to fucking pay their car note, nigga. I don't gotta do any of that shit. And I got this shit cheap.
And I'm about to get another one, another cheap one. Once this one, because this one's giving me problems right now. So I have the money to get one, but I don't want to waste it unless I really got to get one. And if this fucks up, I'm gonna get another one. Yeah, I don't know why this troll's on my channel. It's weird. He's like, ain't no one blocking your channel. Ain't nobody blocking your channel, bitch. Because you ain't got no fucking. Well, even if you did have a channel, nigga, you couldn't. No one would want to block it because you ain't speaking anything. Like, you don't have a channel. Like, if you had a channel, you came on my channel saying something, then we could at least debate or some shit. But you don't got shit. Talk about ain't nobody blocking my channel. You don't know a goddamn thing, nigga. You a fucking bot. Like, what the fuck do you know? Once you click off this live, you're gonna go watch another fucking prank video, or you're gonna go back to your 9 to 5, go back to your bum ass life and do nothing but just fucking sit in your mental anguish. That's all you're gonna do. You're a fucking nobody. You ain't shit. Um, like, what do you know? You don't know anything. You haven't been through nothing. You haven't experienced nothing. And yet you're sitting here trying to act like, nigga, you just mad because there's somebody out there who actually has intelligence and is confident in that. You're not confident in yourself. So since you're not confident in yourself, it triggers you and it upsets you that somebody else is. So now you're like, oh, I believe everything NASA and the government and my teachers told me, and you should too. And if you don't, then you're a fucking idiot and there's something wrong with you. I'm gonna make fun of you and make you feel like you're, but in all actuality, you're the dumbass because what you are is you're nobody, but you're making fun of me because I'm somebody. Even if I'm wrong, even if everything I'm saying is wrong, like, bitch, at least I'm able to do more than what the fuck you did. I'm garnishing more attention than you, motherfucker. Not saying that attention is important, but I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck are you doing? You haven't helped no one. You don't got no knowledge to drop on nobody. If what I'm saying is wrong, nigga, come up with a better solution to what I'm saying to help people. Just like when somebody's selling dope in the street and one guy gets knocked off, somebody comes in and fills the spot. If you think what I'm saying is bullshit and my channel's bullshit, fill the spot and speak some real shit. Stupid ass nigga. Talking about a negative conspiracy, nigga. You fucking idiot. It ain't no conspiracy. It's a goddamn truth. Your stupid ass gotta wake up in the morning and pay taxes, go to this dumbass job. You get poisoned through your food, nigga. Is that a fucking conspiracy or is that a fucking truth, you dumbass idiot? I'm teaching people how to get healthy and healed because they're depopulating people by putting poison in the fucking food and in the air and through the technology. They're trying to kill people off. This is why they're putting drugs in the neighborhoods and they're not giving people housing and helping people because they want to just kill everybody up. Why help everyone and give everybody money and stimulus if they could just kill everyone? But yet I'm trying to actually help and I'm impeding on that. And you say there's a problem with me just because you don't like something I said. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. You stupid ass nigga. I remember you said that yoga will boost your energy. I remember I was being consistent with it, and yeah, I feel more confident, energetic. I remember I said it's legit. Yeah, exactly. You got to keep doing it though. You don't want to, like I said, all of this stuff is a lifestyle. And at first, it's going to be hard to keep it up, but once you keep doing it and you see those drastic changes, then it's going to get easier. Like yoga was hard for me to keep up, but once I say after like a few months of me doing it, it was easy because I seen a drastic change. So that made me just say, I have to do this shit. Like anything that causes a drastic change, you're going to keep doing. You're not going to stop eating because most of you guys, if you stopped eating, it's going to cause a drastic change, aka starvation. So that's why you keep fucking doing it. You need to keep doing something until it develops a drastic change. So therefore, subconsciously, you program yourself to want to just keep doing it. When it comes to energy work, usually this entails doing this shit over and over and over, and then eventually the energy will build up and then you'll start seeing physical changes, and then that's going to motivate you to want to keep staying on it. Yeah, that nigga's a fucking, it's funny how he stops trolling. Yeah, but it's just funny, man. Yeah, fuck all these trolls. That's all they want to do is just come on here and ruin shit. Like the deep information I'm dropping, at least trying to help. And all you can take is the negative. Like it just shows the type of person you are. Yeah, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's the government. The government created this situation. People are so sensitive nowadays, and I can kind of see why, because they put a lot of shit in the food. They got a lot of chemicals, the programming, fucking meme culture, and all this crap. So people are so sensitive nowadays. So I can kind of see, because I know it's like you can't really say anything like in order to even really have your channel be booming like that. You really have to be straight edge. Like you can't cuss, you can't swear. Like people get offended when you swear and shit. And it's crazy. Like I look at it like you should only be offended at disrespect. If somebody's disrespecting you. But if no one's disrespecting you and somebody wants to just being themselves and that gets you upset, that just shows you that you're the problem. Like I don't like when motherfuckers be on that bullshit. That shit gets me hella annoyed. Like there'll be people I'll be cool with, and then like this, well, not anymore. This is years ago. Like I'll be cool with them, and then like I'll say something, and then they'll be like, I'm their worst enemy or some shit over like son. I'm like at that, and then I used to be like, man, like try to like watch what I say and shit, but now it went to a point where I'm like, if if you even show qualities like that, get the fuck away from me. Like it's to a point now where I have it down pack where I can see how a person looks and how they talk and how they move their body, and I can see if they're that type of person. So I automatically won't even deal with motherfuckers like that. Or if I see clues, and I just cut that motherfucker off because I don't like that type of fucking energy. Like you got all the problems that going on in the world, you got problems going on in your own life, and you're so worried about how I'm acting. Like how I'm acting is not a problem. It's not your problem. Like I'm not important to you. Like you are important to you. Like stop worrying about me. Like I hate motherfuckers like that. He said a lot of emotional triggers will come to the surface too with these yoga stretches. Yeah, a lot of emotional triggers, a lot of fears, a lot of anger, like everything, even like be joy and happiness sometimes. It just depends what's needing to be healed. He's like, I'm still listening, the information is good. But implying a Jewish cabal. Well, that's what it is. The cabal. I don't want to say the J word, but that's what they are. There's a people who the fuck. Breatharian and yoga is lick a life hack. It can be a life hack, but at the same time, most people don't have the discipline. So you gotta have the discipline. Yeah, a lot of people don't have that's the reason why the world is suffering right now, to be honest. Like the real reason the world is the way it is, the one of the, if not the real reason, but the biggest reason or one of the biggest reasons is because everybody's in their desires. Nobody actually wants to do the work to actually get better. Like if you go to like the average bitch that complains or the average nigga that complains about the system, if you look at their day-to-day life, they don't really do anything. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I got my problems, and because I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm just seeing what I'm observing. The average person will complain about fucking like I remember I seen this homeless dude, right? And I was walking and he was on his cell phone, and I looked over his shoulder to see what he was looking at. And he was looking at like conspiracy, matrix, and DNA and resonance frequency and all that type of that shit. And I'm noticing like a lot of people like look up shit like this. It's not really like a lot of people look it up, but the reason the world is fucked up and not on that frequency is because
everybody's in the desire. So when he puts that phone down, he's got to go get high. He's got to go do this, and that's the problem. And then nothing really gets done. It just everything's just done on that basis level of just entertainment. It's not done because everyone's stuck in their desires, and like that's the main battle. Like that's if you I don't want to say this is spiritual because it isn't spiritual, but at this point on how much it's impeding people from becoming spiritual, I would say that removing your desires is spiritual because like that's the real reason why. Because like, and if you guys don't believe me, just like right now, pick something in your life that you don't need. I'm not gonna say food, and I'm not gonna say shelter or something that you need, but like something like video games or something like a cigarette or weed, or quit doing that for like 20, 30 days right now. If you can't do that, then you have a problem. And pick something that you don't need. I'm not saying give up food or whatever. I'm saying something that you don't need, like video game. That's the perfect one. You don't need it. It's just something you do for fun. If you can't just give that up, then you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should or not, but if you don't, you have a problem. If you feel kind of weird about it, like, oh, give it, you feel naked just thinking of the idea. Like if I give it up, then I won't have nothing. If you feel, then you, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the problem. And people have that type of fucking problem. And this is why, like, the government, the system, they know that shit. So this is why they put all these things out here, like legal weed and drugs out here. They put drugs and they put that fentanyl bullshit. They put all these things out here because that's keeping people. It's not really just the knowledge and information. The knowledge and information, that's good, but it's keep. And if you look at the people that are very successful, because I've been doing like a lot of like observations, and what I realize is the people that are like, even a motherfucker, like I go on the internet, I'll see people who are like entrepreneurs, successful millionaires, and like they're have businesses, and every single one of them, every single one, it never fails. Like every single one of them, like they always like don't, when it comes to their desires, they don't let that shit go to them. Like they don't, it's not like the average person. It's weird. Like they're able to cut desires off like that. Like not do this, or even how they got to success, they have to give up something that they like doing. Like, and then that's how they got there. So that's telling you that people wanting to please flesh is what's keeping them from reaching their where they need to be at. Like a lot of you guys could be in a better position, but the reason you're not there is because you want to please the flesh. So eating, getting high, or just doing, being comfortable, you love that more than being your greatest version of self, which will probably put you in a position where you can buy all those things tenfold. You see what I'm saying? But since you just want, because you're gonna, because at the end of the day, like you guys look at it like, oh, I get to enjoy, I'm a human being, I get to enjoy eating, I get to enjoy fucking, I get to enjoy this, but everything comes with a cost. Because all of those times you're eating, fucking, and doing all that, you could have been doing something more and then put you in a better position where you don't need to eat. You could fuck better looking bitches, or maybe just other shit. You see what I'm saying? Like it'll put you in a better position. But since you didn't want to have discipline and just being a desire, you from the get-go, you're like, oh, this is good. And you think you're coming up. Oh, I'm enjoying my life. But in reality, you're enjoying it at what cost? It's like somebody, it's like, would you pay $1 million for a cup of noodles or some shit, or a fucking a pair of sneakers, $1 million, just because you really want them? Yeah, you'll get them, but then you're gonna feel stupid. So it's like that's the same with you niggas. Like you into your desires, thinking that is making you feel good, but you're really losing out on like abundance of what you could have been doing. You see what I'm saying? Like you could have been getting so much more done, but you didn't because. So it's like that's the thing. That's the problem. Is that people are stuck on their desires. That's the main thing. It's not because you can know all the information you want, but like the way the world works is that you can't cheat. Knowing information is cheating sometimes. And how it plays out is, you know, information, like you guys know what you like Jay said, oh, I was doing yoga and it made me feel good and I was getting more confident. Then why didn't you keep doing it? If you know the information is right, I'm not hating on you, but if you know the information is right and it makes you feel good, why don't you keep doing it? It's because the battle, it wasn't a battle of the information. It's a battle of the flesh and the desires. So we already know the information. That's not the battle. You know everything. But the battle is the flesh and you battling your desires and having to overcome that. And once you overcome that, then you already know everything. There's some people it's different. Some people they can there's some spirits they're good with desires and balancing the flesh, but they're stupid as fuck. And then you may see some of these people in a position that you're not in because this system is based more on a Capricornian where it's more disciplined. So you may see an idiot, but it's all that's what I'm saying. But if you're able to synergize both of the energies and put them together, your ass is gonna be unstoppable. Then no one can fuck with you because you already been known everything, and now you just got to work on battle of the flesh versus the other person. They're an idiot. So even if they have the battle, they got to still learn all the shit you already know, which is going to could take lifetimes. There's a lot of information that when you see somebody like Shadowbanned, like he has so much information that he knows everything. Yeah, they fucking with my internet. I think I don't know what the fuck went on. I had to I had to put my mobile hotspot on right now because my internet's fucking up. So I had to put my hotspot on. Yeah. He's like, hold on. He's like, you know this because you got close to saying it and then said the J word. Yeah, I just said it because I can't get this. Last time I said it, they banned my channel. So I can't. One thing I realized, you can't express hatred towards certain groups. There's certain groups I don't like. Certain groups. I'm not gonna say their names, but certain groups I don't like. And it's not even like I don't like them. Like, oh, I want to like do anything negative. It just, you know how like you see some dog shit on the ground and you just don't like it. It's like, ugh, I get it away from me. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. It's that type of don't like. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go and harm and like. It's just like, ugh, like how you gonna preach high level shit and succumb to that stuff? I just watch the last fucking hour of this video. Like everything that I said before, what I'm saying right now, just watch that and then you can answer your question. That's how I'm gonna preach it. The fuck, I just did it. Rewind the video. And treating people in the low vibrational. Low vibrational is not always like some people need low vibrational. Somebody going out there and like doing something they had no business doing, they need some type of low vibrational energy to stop them from creating other low vibrational energies to hurt other people. Like the fuck? There's a low vibrations all perspective. Because there's a lot of these new age Karen cobweb pussy bitches out here that call everyone low vibrational, and that's why they don't got no fucking man in their goddamn life, and they're miserable and they're bitter. Because everybody was low vibrational to the fact that they're alone. You know it ain't right, and that's why you stop from saying that, right? And I know it ain't right because anything that gets this channel banned ain't right. So I'm not trying to. It ain't right in terms of YouTube's policy, and I'm not trying to get this channel banned. So the best to believe, I don't think it ain't right. Speaking facts, discipline. He said, "I'm just here for financial advice." I don't know what financial advice I'm gonna give you. I don't really give a fuck about finances like that, to be honest. I don't give a fuck about finances. I hate money. I hate finances. But we gotta do what we have to do for it. It's funny how everyone used to always be like, "Oh, be about your money," and because I used to be like, "Oh, I hate me." I used to be kind of like not really like about I used to make my money and shit, but I used to not really care. People like, "Oh, you need to be about your money and shit." But then every time I go out there and do something like scam or steal or do whatever I got to do by any means to get my money, then it's a problem. But I just thought you just said to be about my money. Like you're not gonna pay for my fucking like motherfuckers will never pay. Like I remember when I was young, I'd be like, "Oh, can you buy this for me? Can you buy this for me?" And they're like, "No, you go get your own money." And I start making my own money. "Oh, why you steal? Why you do this? Why you got to do that?" And like, you just told me I got to go make my own money. You're not going to go and give me it. You're not going to buy me a vehicle. You're not going to go and give this to me. So why am I going to ask you? And even if I do ask you, it's going to be with strings attached to it. Why do you keep talking about lawyers and the J word? I don't care about those lawyers. Like you said like a million times, the lawyers and the J words. I don't care about them. I don't know, like you trying to make me speak about. I don't have no feelings about nobody negative when it comes to that. And I just lied. Okay, I'm gonna block this guy, man. I'm gonna put you in timeout for a little bit. I'm not gonna block him. It's just fucking annoying, dude. Yeah. But it is what it is, guys. I just put him in timeout. You can go on next live, you can come in, but I'm just don't feel like oh man. I can tell it's probably a new subscriber because they don't know how I run shit on this channel. I don't care about what you think. Like everything that he's like, "Oh, you're telling people use everything that you come on my channel and you're surprised about is all Masonic because you going into the real world and you're going into the Masonic world, and based upon what they have set up, they tell you how you should act and how you should respond to how people act. So you come on my channel bringing that fucking Masonic bullshit programming onto this, and then it's not. It's the energy isn't. It's conflicting, and then now you're getting banned, you're getting cussed out, and a whole bunch of these weird vibes that don't need to even exist. If you would just know game, and or just shut the fuck up. Because if you want to know game, then you can't bring that Masonic program onto this fucking channel because it's gonna get you upset and think that you gotta have something negative to say about me. This is why there's so much violence and crap and like even when Dolo he popped up on that dude, the troll. I'm so happy he did that because people need because the trolls are all trying to beg, like, "Oh, please don't do it," but they don't understand because the reason why, because they don't understand, like, because a lot of those people that are trolling Dolo, those are like suburb white kids, and a lot of them they're not really about it because they've been sheltered, they've been given, like their family's been taking care of them and they've been sheltered, so they don't think, because nobody's really serious in the suburbs. So they didn't think he was going to really come down there, because they thought, oh, because people in the suburbs, they got shit to lose. But when you're dealing with people who are on a different frequency, who don't have shit to lose, or they don't care about shit to lose, then you're kind of stupid to fuck with those people. So, because those people are going to end up doing something, and then now you're going to be in a position where you're going to end up losing your shit, regardless if you want to or not, because they're going to go and take it, aka your fucking life. Like this nigga's about to go take that nigga's life. So it's like, this, so you got to be careful. And it's good that he popped up, because now he's got to think twice about doing that shit again. Like, why are you, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, see, you see how they were all begging, saying, oh, please don't do this, and they're all begging, but yet these motherfuckers was going hardcore. That's what I'm saying. Like, all this internet shit, like, especially if you're like a hacker, you're a troller, if you're at least gonna do that, at least be undercover. For real. At least be undercover. Don't be, because you don't know who you messing with, really. Like, you can mess with somebody. Let's just say you're a hacker, you're a troller. If you're a troller or a hacker, do not make yourself public. Do not make yourself seen. Do it behind the scenes, because we're going into a time where spiritual energy is going to be elevating. You got the technology world, which is the fake fourth dimensional, is a fake energy, and then we got the real spiritual energy. So as these both go up, if you're a troller, if you're a hacker, and you're showing your face, not only are motherfuckers gonna find a way to pop up, they could send some spiritual work and fuck you up. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, you don't know who you're really dealing with. Because, like, if somebody's on a spiritual mission, depending on the mission that that spirit is on, if you're blocking that mission and blocking things, you're playing the role of the shadow government. And the shadow government, they get that karma, they get that smoke, and they can handle it more than if you're a bot or if you're a troll. Because that, and as I'm saying, you guys need to be careful the line of fire you're stepping in when you're fucking with people on the internet and they on a mission and they path doing what they supposed to be doing. Because that comes with a lot of, can come with a lot of karma. Like, your ass can fuck you up in the spiritual realm. Because like I said, like, that nigga Dolo, he's not telling you everything. He's just telling you guys just the surface, because certain things he can't speak on that channel, because he's in a position where if he says certain shit, then the people who run this shit, the governments, the shadow elites, and everything, they can use that shit. So certain things he can't really say. Certain things you're not supposed to be even saying on this shit, because they can take the information and use it to help fuel their system. So, and then you don't want to like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes. Like, there's reality, that what you think reality, and then there's a fake reality. Reality, the real reality, a lot of things go on. Just like in your day, you wake up in the morning and you come on live. Let's just say you're a content creator, you're watching my channel, or you're somebody in the comments. You coming on my live stream and leaving a comment, like, shout out to Jackie New. She left this comment. You left that comment, took you about like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. That's 5-10 seconds out of your day. You watch my whole live stream, that's an hour out of your day. The other 24 hours, you're doing other things. There's so much you're doing. So you got to take that into effect when you see anything going on. When you see a situation, a scenario, always understand there's so much more going on in behind the scenes that there's not being said, and why this is happening. Like, I literally think that when they were on that nigga's channel, doing all that shit, I think it's like some type of spiritual attack. Like, it's like some type of operation that they're doing, that it's playing out where he's being trolled. But on a higher level, it was probably some like elite government doing some shit to kind of disrupt some, but then it plays out physically as a troll or some shit. So it's like it's a spiritual warfare in a way. And the dude who's trolling probably doesn't even know like what the fuck's going on. Like, because like if you look at the dude, like the dude who's trolling the guy, I don't even want to say the dude's name, but the guy who's trolling him, if you look at the nigga's energy, the nigga has a lot of he has a lot of karma. Like, you could see his energy, he's fucked up. He has a lot of issues, like a lot of negative energy, very dark energy. So when I see that nigga, like he looks like somebody, well, I don't really want to get into too much, but you can tell that motherfucker's suffering. Like, he going through a lot of mental warfare. That's because anybody who's a troll to that level, they're going through something mentally. Like they've been through something extreme mentally, and there's nothing wrong with going something extreme mentally, but you want to transmute it. You don't want to transmute it to something negative, because when you do it to something negative, it's gonna make you a very cold, bitter person. And then if you're a very cold, bitter person, you're gonna end up doing something you're gonna regret. You're gonna do something that you can't handle, and you normally wouldn't do that thing, but the reason you did it is because you were such in a cold, bitter space because you refused to heal. So now you do something and you're gonna fucking regret. That's why you got to be careful what you do, like not to go too far with what you fucking do. That's why it's good to have a load. It's the same guy, I think. It's on another channel. I don't know why like because he's like I keep seeing that comment lawyer. I keep seeing this word lawyer, so I know it's the guy that I blocked. That he just went on a different channel. It has to be because why are you talking about a lawyer? I give a fuck about a lawyer. I hate fucking lawyers. But let me see what he has to say. That was why it's good to have a lawyer, and that's a good Uber driver. Not a. That's why I need to be in a situation where I don't end up having to need a lawyer. That's where it starts off at. Fuck a lawyer. Hold on, let me. Oh, that wasn't the other. This is the dude. He okay. I won't block you this time. I blocked him, but I don't know. He made another account. I don't know if it's the same account. I thought I blocked. Well, no, I put him in timeout, and I think he the timeout lifted or some shit. I don't really know how to work this shit too much. Yeah, I don't know why everyone's talking about lawyers and shit on my channel. That's kind of weird. I don't know what energy I'm in to be attracting people to be like speaking about lawyers and shit. I hope I don't have no case pending on me or nothing. Like it's kind of weird. But you guys got to be careful though. This shit's like this shit's getting out of hand. Like with the whole YouTube. I feel like they're gonna do a huge revamp on YouTube. They're gonna demonetize a lot of people and make everything else like they're gonna demonetize a lot of people and make everything more like you're gonna have to be playing a certain role. Like talking like me. Eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if they ban people from speaking spiritual. I wouldn't be surprised because I could see it heading to that point where they're gonna just demonetize anyone speaking about something. And they were already kind of doing it back in the day. Remember when like the advertisement agencies who paid the YouTube ads, they were saying that we don't want to run ads on this video because they're speaking about things that my company doesn't agree with. Remember they were doing that? I don't know if they still do that shit. Like there was a time they were doing it, and I think they cut back on it. I wouldn't be surprised if that shit happens. So in order to make money off YouTube, you're gonna have to be a fucking just like a regular prank channel or some dumb DJ academic shit. And even depending on how you make prank videos, they're gonna demonetize. So don't just go, I'll make prank video. Depending on how you make, if you do a prank that they don't like, or that you talk about something that they don't like, that has an inkling that it could wake people up, or it doesn't even have to be spiritual. It could just be a certain something that happens in the matrix that isn't spiritual, but if you talk about it, it can lead from point A to point B down the line to something spirit. Even if it's something like that, if you talk about it, they'll demonetize you. That's how deep it probably get. Like you have to be really like at that point, they might as well just fucking print out a Hollywood script and just give it to every fucking content creator and say, talk about this and do this. At that point, they might as well, because it's just going to be Hollywood 2.0, but on the internet. That shit would be retarded. But at that point, though, like, who will really give a fuck? That shouldn't stop the information, because if the information is what it, if the information is important, it should be getting out there still. But I don't think information is a problem. I don't think information is a problem. I feel like people are just lost in their desires. People just want to feel good, and people don't understand how life is. Everyone thinks that life is supposed to be um a straight path. People don't understand that life is actually, there's supposed to be ups and downs. There's supposed to be times, like a lot of you guys are trying to run away from feeling pain. Like for example, you want to quit smoking and you stop smoking and then you feel pain. You're trying to run away from that pain instead of just accepting that and being like, this is part of the process. Because in order to create happiness, a good circumstance and situation, it takes a formula, it takes chemicals. And some of those chemicals means working hard. Some of those chemicals is fucking perseverance, never giving up, learning. But some of those chemicals that are in it to take that it takes to make that situation, some of those chemicals, they include heartache, frustration, pain, and having to go through boredom and anger. And like a lot of those, you guys are trying to run away from that feeling. But those things is what it takes to actually get into a good situation. Like you can't live life and everything be perfect. Like sometimes a lot of you guys say I'm being attacked, but some of those things is the spirit is putting that as a test to see, are you going to fold? Are you going to buck? Are you going to still be on your path, even though, like there was a story I heard of some dude. He's like, oh, I got off drugs for 5 years, and it was the hardest thing. And then it was a drug addict. He was on the street, and he was like, I got off drugs for 5 years, and I was doing good. And then literally after 5 years, I got in a car accident, and they prescribed me drugs, and I went back on the drugs. And he's like, I was doing everything right, and and he's like, you were doing everything right, but the test came, and you didn't pass the test. Like just because you did everything right, I don't think there ain't gonna be no more tests. That's why you gotta always be wary for the test. Even when you that's even when you do make it and you do get to where you want to be, it's still gonna be a test. Don't think there ain't gonna be no test. Don't think you can't ever go back to where you were. That's why you always want to stay on point. Then just never lose focus of that, because you can, because remember I said all possibilities. So that could be positive or negative. If you're a billionaire, you can go broke and you can not have shit. It will, even if it ain't you going broke physically with money, the universe could do something where a fucking a snake bites you and paralyzes you, and now you can't even move. And you say anything can happen. So you got to take that into the positive and the negative. But we want to be looking at it from the positive. That's why these elites they threaten right now, because they're seeing that all possibility that this shit's gonna be turned down. And but it's gonna take a while though, but that crack is opening. Because there are a lot of their programs and mental systems, like even the fact that like a lot of this shit, well, I wouldn't want to speak too much, but like the way they're kind of stupid, because I'm like, because I'll be watching Dolo's channel. He be saying like they be watching his channel and shit. And I'm looking at it like, if the government and the shadow government, if they're really watching this nigga's channel and they're doing all the shit that they said that he's saying that he's doing, that's a bad look on their part. Because they're not only showing how petty they are, they're making themselves look bad for the bots and the sheep, for the people out here, like us that we're watching. Like you looking bad, like it's like a female that does a desperate attempt to try to get the man back, or a desperate attempt to try to stop somebody, a witness that, and somebody's trying to kill the witness. Like they're trying hard to kill the witness and silence the witness, so you're showing how guilty you are. So in this case with the government, it's showing how much in control they're not, by them even coming at the content creator. At least if they were going to come at him, they should have did it in a different way. But the fact that they're trying to like negotiate, and like it's like that negotiation energy, like you're supposed to be running this shit, how you negotiate. So that shows you that their shit ain't working, it's breaking down. For them to even be on a level to even negotiate and be even talking to somebody who's supposed to be a regular citizen is a bot. It shouldn't even be no thing. So you guys need to peep game on what the fuck's going on. Like their shit is crumbling down, and it's like it's slowly, like it's because you could, like I'm saying, like years ago, like you wouldn't be able to like fathom some shit like this. Like even the fact that they monetize this nigga's page, it's hella weird. Because like, who could get their page monetized back like that? Like, you get it up but back monetized. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of making them look bad and shit. And when you see like all the shit that the government talks about, it's all bullshit. But we already knew it was bullshit. But them even coming stooping down, and I don't say stooping down like we're lesser than them, but in terms of them, it's kind of a stooping down. Them stooping down showed you that their shit isn't number one. Their shit isn't, because if their shit was number one and it was all the way it's supposed to be, every answer and solution should come from their mental doctrine, or their mind frame that they have everybody in. All the solutions should come from that. But it seems like they don't have no solution, which we already know they didn't, but they're showing it evidently like they don't have no solution. So it's kind of making them look kind of stupid. And then they blocking channels, and like my channel, how they fucking blocked it. And I know it was direct because they blocked my channel right after I went live. Like it was the video where I said YouTube shadow banning me, and I went in, and 3 hours after I made that live stream, I got an email. And I left the communities. If you go on my communities tab back in, I think it was November 16th, around that date, you go to my communities tab, you will be able to see the post I left you of the email they sent me. And it was hella weird. I'm like, they sent me this right after I did that live stream. And then ever since then, my views have been stagnated. I've never been able to go over like 415. Subscribers. Like, my subscribers are just stuck, but my views are going up. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think my subscribers are going up. It's just they're blocking the number because my views are going up. And I go on other content creators' channels, and their subscribers are going up, but their views stay less than mine. And these content creators have subscribers around my base. Some of them even had like less than me, and they outgrown me subscriber wise, but their views are still less than mine. That don't make any fucking sense. That's what I'm thinking. They're making the number, and in my shit, it will stay at like 415 for a long time. Then it'll go up one, and then it'll go down one, and then it'll go up one, and it'll go down two. Like, it just stays stagnant. But then my views will keep going up. So I know they're playing games with my shit, because I broke down how YouTube is like I don't know what I have to rewatch the video, but I was breaking that shit down, talking about how YouTube is shadow banning. And after that video, I noticed that's when my channel was being kind of like attacked. Because it's not only, because you guys got to understand, when it's about certain information and spiritually, it's not just always about the information and what you know. You don't have to always be right. Sometimes it's just how you act and how you bring information. That's a problem to them. Like, if you bring in information in a certain light and you're not talking about it the way they're talking about, they don't like that, because they need, you're not feeding their mental template, their mental programming and mind frame they want everybody in. So like even like when I speak about breatharianism, like, they don't like that shit, because they want me to talk about like Dr. Sebi health. Oh, go get some herbs, go get some fruit, and go get, they like that. You see herbs, fruit, but you don't see nobody speaking about breatharianism and qigong energy. When you look, you obviously you do, but it's not as much. And the people who speak about it, they're speaking about it from more of a new agey perspective, which is all love and light. They're not speaking about it from a science and actually how everybody can implement this in their life. And then this is what pushes people off, because you look into this breatharian qigong energy and you see a certain energy, and if you're not strong-minded to extract the fruit from it and leave the rest, you will be like, oh, this is some corny shit, or the way they talk about it, because they do that. That's what they name it qigong. It's not it's energy. It's energy. You're moving energy with your hands. That's all it is. And you're generating it into the meridians. The meridians are all you have meridians on your hands, all through the vessel. You have different energy spots. They call them Dantian. It's not no Dantian. It's an energy portal. It's an energy spot. And you're just generating energy into these spots, and it's energizing the body like you're energizing a power bank or a battery. You charge it in the USB. You're charging the battery, the power bank up. It's the same thing, but when you're charging the human body up, this amplifies the organs, it amplifies the being and the consciousness. And when you're doing this over time, this actually transforms the DNA and how you perceive and how you interact with reality. So therefore, you don't get hungry. You have more energy, you sleep less, and you become a different being. And I'm telling you, I'm feeling this already after 2 weeks of doing it. But this take to get to that process where you're transforming it to like not eating and the DNA, that takes at least 2 to 3 years of every day doing this. And then there's different types of qigong. Like I'm gonna show you guys the qigong, fragrance qigong. I'm gonna show that in a few days, and then I'm also gonna be doing a breatharian qigong, which is a little bit more advanced, a little bit more harder because you got to hold the poses a little longer. But all of this, when you do this daily, it generates energy. And even if you're not a breatharian, even if you want to eat food still and you don't plan on being a breatharian, you still can do this energy chi exercise, and it still will give you benefits. It'll give you more energy. You probably won't sleep as much. You have clearer mind. You'll come up with an idea because when you're dealing with energy, this is affecting not just the physical. This is affecting beyond the physical. So therefore, you will start creating a reality based upon the energy that you're creating for yourself. Because when when you're doing the exercises, you have an intention, and with this energy, you can use this energy to create. So whatever the energy is a part, like when you're doing the exercise, you can create, you can have an intention on what you want the energy to do in terms of like how it's gonna affect you. Like it's deep. Like they even have a exercise where it's you develop an energy ball, and then with the energy ball, not only physically that energy ball is gonna nourish you, but you can actually send out intentions with that, and then it'll create you can create your reality around that energy ball depending on how you program it and everything. Like this shit gets deep. When you start doing these practices, you actually start feeling I can feel the fucking energy ball while I'm doing the exercises. When you first start, you may not feel it, but you got to just keep going with it because you're still developing it. But it takes time to not too long, like probably like few weeks or a few days, not even a few weeks. Like I started feeling it from the beginning, but like I was saying, I was doing other energy practices like yoga because there was a time I couldn't feel the energy, but that was before I was doing yoga heavily. So yeah, yeah. Hold on, let me go up. He's like prana. See, prana, kundalini, chi, all that shit is all Masonic. But I'm not like it's good that we have words so people can at least come to an understanding of what these things are. So it's good that we have it, but all of these are just different processes that go on within the vessel. Kundalini is just a process. Chi is the energy that's around us at all times, and you develop that energy by bringing it into the energy centers, which they call Dantian, but it's just an energy center. The more you fill up these centers, the more it's going to transform your state of consciousness, your awareness, and even the body, like to the point where you don't need food, you need less food. You're able to, you're more energized, clearer mind. You're able to come up with like it enhances the body and the faculties of the body on on a on a level that's far beyond what any fucking supplement can do. Like a supplement, there's a difference between a drug and something that's real. When you wake up and you have and you when you wake up in the morning after you slept for 10 hours, you have energy. Is that the same energy as when you drink a coffee? No. You can be up for 25 hours straight and drink coffee. You could be up for 3 days straight and drink coffee and you will still not feel rested because it's not real. With Qigong, with the Qi energy, that's the real energy. So the energy and the benefits you feel, they're gonna feel real. There's not like a supplement or no drug or like all this other shit. And I'm not saying supplements or drug are bad, but I'm just giving you guys like this is real energy. The only thing I would say is real, which I respect, are herbs. Because if you are, and the only reason you should take herbs is if you're sick. If you're sick and you have an ill, like I have the tooth infection, and I told you guys about teeth aid. I'll show you guys teeth aid. What the fuck is it? I got some more. This is a herb. I had a tooth problem. When I'm not fasting, then I take this. If I'm fasting, I don't need this. It's trash because I'm fasting. But not everybody can fast because some people, based upon their life and their situation, what they can't fast. So this is what an herb is for. This is what eating healthy is for. It's a convenient way to take care of the body in a situation where you may not be able to fast, but it's not the end all. It's not the superior. It's not the end all. If anything, it's a stepping stone to eventually you get to the end all, which is no consumption of anything. That's what it is. So like, don't think that you being oh, I'm a vegetarian or I'm this or I'm eat herbs and I'm healthy. Not really, because if you keep taking those herbs or that food, you're gonna kill the organs. You're not supposed to die from this world through a health problem. We're all supposed to die, but you're not supposed to die from a health issue. Okay, so any type of damaging of the organs, that's no, because that's not how it's supposed to be. If you die from a health issue, that means you done fucked up. So when I say this, people think, well, you can't live forever. No shit, you can't live forever. But it's like, do you want to get ran over by a car? Oh, like if you got ran over by a car, you're gonna be like, I don't want to die like that. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not normal to get ran over by a car. So why you think it's normal to die from organ failing? It's because you've been it's not that you've been programmed. It's just the things that make your organs fail make you feel good. So you rationalize why it's okay. Well, we're only gonna live this or we're only gonna live that. We're gonna well, if to be honest, like if you want to put it like that, you could die tomorrow. You can die tomorrow, nigga. Like, you could die anytime. But the thing is, though, how are you gonna die? Are you gonna die in pain and suffering? Because when you have diabetes, when you have all these health issues, this a painful, slow death. When somebody that lives 90 with health issues, better believe for 20 plus years they were suffering with a health issue. It just got worse, worse, and worse. That's something they don't tell you. Most health issues, they get worse over time. It's not like you're just dead. So a lot of you niggas say, well, I'm gonna eat whatever I want and we're all gonna die, but you're gonna die very painful. It's gotta be a slow process. When your organs are failing, organ failure, which is how everyone dies because something in your body is failing, most of the time, unless it's a heart attack, you just go out. And even then, you're gonna suffer, but it's gotta be slow, painful. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of you niggas, if you guys knew how dying from diabetes and all that shit felt, you niggas gonna be like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna eat healthy. It's about the quality of life. You don't want, and not even about this, even when because if you just live it how you want to live and eat how you want to eat, when you get to be 70, 80, you're going to be in pain. There's going to be something in you that's going to be hurting your back, your this, and it's going to be constant. You're going to have to be on medication. That's how it's going to be for everyone. And it's going to probably even be worse because the chemicals in the food and all this shit now is a lot worse. That's why they say Gen Z's looking hella older, because there's a lot of chemical warfare that's taking place. I don't even think people are even going to live to be 80, 90. I feel like the life expectancy rate's going to drop to be like 50 or 60. I feel like a lot of, and I'm not going to wish nothing negative, but I feel like a lot of Gen Z aren't going to make it past 50. That's what I've been feeling spiritually. And this is why, like, I feel like part of the reason I feel like I got to bring this breatharian path, because you guys don't understand how dire this health situation is. It's not, it's like you guys think it's just some, like, it's just serious. Like, I don't literally think, why you think Gen Z looks so old? And then they got all these chemicals in the food and shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's playing out the way I'm thinking. Because by the time most of these motherfuckers reach 50, if people don't take care of their health like that, it's going to be a lot more diseases and things are going to be putting into the society that's going to make people probably feel sick. And they're going to try to kill people at an earlier date because they don't want to have to pay off Social Security. They're going to be stealing everyone's Social Security. So that's another reason why they don't want the health message to be out there, because there's a lot of things going on, but part of it, they're going to steal everyone's Social Security. They already stole it, but they don't want to have to pay all that money back. So all the Gen Z that has Social Security that they're paying into, that shit's going to get stolen. And if that shit gets stolen, like, they don't want to pay that off to you, or they don't want to pay as much of it off to you. So they probably only pay you like a few years so they can get it. So this is why they want to keep you sick. This is another reason why they want you working a 9 to 5. Is so they can keep you sick. Because when you work a 9 to 5, if you don't have extreme, to be honest, it's harder to get your shit together working a 9 to 5 than when you don't work a 9 to 5. Because when you're working a 9 to 5, you can get your shit together, but it takes extreme discipline. Because if you're working 8-hour shifts 5 days a week, by the time Saturday and Sunday come, you want to chill. But if you're trying to become a better version of self, Saturday and Sunday have to be your 8-hour shift for yourself. But most people, they just want to relax and have fun. And then they say, oh, I'm just going to relax. I'm going to relax. And then 2 weeks turns into 2 months. And then 2 months turns into 6 months. And then you at that job for a year. You wasted a year. So I'm not saying you shouldn't work and save up money, but a lot of you niggas, do you have the discipline to work 5 days a week, take your check, and then Saturday and Sunday work on yourself? And at that point, you won't even have time to really, really have fun and do what, not even have fun, but do what you think you want to do, such as fucking fuck off on the internet and play games and get high. You won't have time because you're going to be working on self. And you may think that's hard, but at the same time, the motherfucker who got businesses who went through that trial and test, you can't hate on them. You can't say they're lucky and I'm not, because they went through shit that you didn't go through. So that's where they got that. So you got to look at it like that. That's why there's so many people that aren't successful and that are miserable, because everyone's on this rat reel and they're stuck on it. They can't get out. They can, but it takes a lot of discipline. That's what I'm saying. The main problem in today's life is discipline. It's not really knowledge. Everybody has a fucking cell phone. Everybody has access to the information. If you're an idiot, that's because you choose to be an idiot. Either you choose or your brain can't comprehend based upon your genetic deficiencies, which is also most people. But the information's out there. It's just the discipline that's not out. That the discipline and people wanting to pleasure the flesh, that's a problem. And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm trying. Like every day, I try to do what I got to do. Because like me, I had a lot of blockages in my life. My blockages was mainly internal though. Like my life externally was good. Like when I look at my life externally, it was good. Everything was straight. I had parents. Both my mom, she worked at the government, the Lawrence Livermore lab, the laboratory and shit. My dad, he had a business in IT and all that and consulting. So I wasn't. It wasn't a problem. It just internally, I had health issues and mental issues and things that I had to deal with, which that was my shit that I had to deal with. So because if it wasn't for my internal blockages, I'll be probably a damn near a billionaire right now. It's just I had a lot of blockages because a lot of karma that I did in previous existences. I abused certain things. So the power that I have, I have to prove myself through a spiritual initiation to be able to have access to my full gifts. You see what I'm saying? Like because you don't own any of this shit. You don't own the body. You don't own any of this. So you have to actually do what you have to do to be able to have access to that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, over time, you guys see how as I'm doing my yoga, I'm doing my energy work, and I'm doing all my practices out, I'm changing because I'm releasing the energy. So as I'm releasing the energy, I'm able to be myself and have access to who I am. The more and more I'm able to do that. Then as I do that, and I don't worry about the physical, and I'm not saying because everybody's different. You can't, like, some people, you guys, you can't do what I do. But I'm speaking for me. But as I don't worry about that, then everything shapes and forms to the point where I need the shit what I need. Because I'm realizing, like, the biggest wealth to me is my happiness and my peace. That's the biggest. Like, if I don't know what it is. When I'm in a peaceful mindset, and when I say peaceful, I'm not just saying peace like I just got some money or some stupid shit. I'm talking about, like, due to energy work and doing the shadow work, and it's cleansed. I notice I will find things in the reality that just match. Like, I don't have to worry about having to go and worry about how to make money. Something will just happen where I have money that's made. I don't know how. Or let's just say I go and I do something, like I'll do some type of stock class, or put myself in some money markets and I will make money in it. Like when I was making money before, because I was in a different mindset. That's why I was able to make that. But then I dropped from that mindset and then it started fucking up. So, and it's weird because around that time I found it was a lady's purse I found on the ground. And she had credit cards and she had like $20 in it. I found her just walking into the store. And then another time, some lady just came up to me and just gave me $20 and was like, here, take this $20. I know it can help you and yours. And in my mind, I was like, she thinks I have kids because, and she probably thought she's just weird. Like, I don't like, because when she gave me that money, in my mind, I got the energy of kids, like children, like she's trying to help me because like she thinks I had kids or something like that. And I don't get that thought. So this was when I was in a certain elevated mind, but then when my mind drops, it's like the opposite. I may lose money or like some bullshit be happening to me. And it is weird. And then this is what I'm thinking is a lot of people, they're in this negative mindset and then therefore they say it's gang stalking, but it's really, they're just not in that frequency. Because when you actually do what you got to do, then you experience the opposite of what you guys call. And when I say gang stalking, I'm not talking about the real gang stalking, like in terms of when there's somebody doing something. There's the gang stalking where somebody's doing something to you actually, and then a lot of people that they say they're experiencing gang stalking, but it's really they have an internal blockage and things just aren't working out, but they think somebody's doing something. That's the difference. You're not being gang stalked. This is like the gang stalk with quotations around it. That's the gang stalking, but the real one is the actual where you can be fucked with by the government. That's a real thing, but I'm not talking about that. I say like 99% of people who complain about gang stalking, they're not being attacked by the government. It's just their internal energy isn't right, so they're manifesting situations that don't go in their favor, and they don't know this because they haven't been on the opposite spectrum of that. And the only way you can get on the opposite spectrum is by actually doing the energy work based on what you have to do. Everyone's different. Like I said, there should be clues in your life right now that's telling you what you need to be doing. When you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you're going to get resistance. You're going to get a feeling of that you're not supposed to do it. And when you're doing something you're supposed to be doing, good things are going to start happening to you. That's going to, like, they're going to be nuggets dropped on your path, like a gold nugget. And it's going to be that gold nugget's going to play out as in something physically that you like. That's a symbol like, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I got, and then you keep doing it. And that gold nugget can play out as something like, let's just say you on a path like mine, like me. I can't, like, I'm supposed to be a breatharian. Like, I'm just plain say, that's what I'm supposed to be. Back in 2020, when I didn't know that, I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And I would try other ways and try to how to make money and to do this and how to make things work. But all I was supposed to do was sit my ass the fuck down. And once I sat my ass the fuck down, then that's when things happen the way it's supposed to happen. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's simple. It's easy. It's not easy because going through being a breatharian and having to do the practices every day and having to go through getting rid of desires, that can be tough. But like I'm saying, when you do it, then things will start happening because I have to be on my spiritual path. And in this system, if you have to work a 9 to 5 to make money and the spirit doesn't want you doing that shit because it's going to impede, it's going to create a reality where you'll have what you need. You'll have what you need at all times. It may not be exact. You be a millionaire, you have exact, but it'll give you what you need so you don't need to work that bullshit 9 to 5 again. But you have to at least be on the path because some of you guys may need to work a 9 to 5 and take that money and save it. So you go listen to somebody like me and you need to work it to save it, then it may backfire you. So like you got to know what you need to do. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Oh, I should have put the link. Well, I'm about to leave anyways. I had a cookie channel, but cause my food wasn't kosher, they started shadow. The hurricane hackers are always trying to ruin me and making fun of my religion. All these weird ass comments. Yeah, they're said. Think most YouTubers are comment.
Yeah, I think he's a troll. I am a fruitarian. I only eat fruit and have fallen off the plant. I like to try earthworm diet. With these 9 to 6 programs, you into eating unhealthy. Yeah, you absolutely right. That's right there. They program you to eating bullshit every time you. Because I remember when I was working at this 9 to 5 warehouse years back. The only shit they had was a vending machine, and then the warehouse was situated on the outskirts of the city, so the closest place to go get anything was like miles away. You couldn't make it back in time, so they had a setup where you had to buy their bullshit in their canteen so they can make money off you, because you're not going to want to leave. You got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can't leave and then enjoy your break. And then so they put like that bullshit, and like, why they gotta put bullshit? What, this billion-dollar company can put fresh fruit and shit and people will eat it, but they don't do that because they want to kill you off. It's all part of the plan, because they want to work you till you physically can't be alive no more, and you can't do shit physically, and then all the crap and chemicals you eat, then your organs is all fucked up. So by the time you like 65 around retirement, they give you Medicaid, which you have to be like 60, over 60 to qualify for Medicaid, and Medicaid is just free healthcare. And the reason you have to be over 60, because they know by the time you're over 60, you're gonna have a lot of health issues, and it's gonna add up, because the average health issue that the person with over 60 has, because old people have health issues. So when you're over 60, you start having health issues, and when you have to go to the doctor, that shit adds up. And and this is why they charge so much money, because they have every right to. Because you don't have, first of all, you don't have to go to their system. You don't have to do their shit. I'm obviously, if you have some type of trauma, like you got a fucking a knife to the leg, or you bleeding profusely, I'm not saying don't go to the hospital. But what I am saying is, and if we were more elevated and spiritual as a collective, we wouldn't even need to go to the hospital even for that. But for right now, we have to do that shit. So I'm not saying that, but if it's for anything else, like health issues, chemicals, or heart problems, all of that could be fixed through diet, fasting, yoga, qigong. If it's at a certain level, if it's very severe, to the way I look at it is, it can't even really, severe is to the point where you can't move your body. As long as you can move your body and you can breathe and you don't have any type of like disability where you can't do shit, you can do this. And even they even say with qigong, you could be bedridden because you can do the movements with your mind. This is what they said. This is what they say. With qigong, you can do the movements with your mind, and you could be bedridden. And I'm sure this worked, because there's people who've been bedridden who were able to do this. So like, but I don't know how true that is. And then once the weekends come, you just end up wasting time like on video. That's why they have video games and they have fucking social media, all this other stupid shit to have you wasting time. Ain't nobody really living their life. Right? All these people, like, when you actually tell somebody like, why are you wasting your time working a 9 to 5? It's like you can't tell me any other reason other than you want to have a place to stay. You're not telling me you have no future. Because if you telling me you have a future and you're going to do this and that, then you'll be eventually using your money from that 9 to 5 to get out and do something. But if you're just working at 9 to 5, you're just living for your bills, especially if you're not making no damn money. I don't think you're going to make $100,000 a year and think that that's some type of perk. Because when you make $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year, 99% of the time, they're gonna be working your ass off. Like, that shit ain't easy. Like, if you got work at these places like Google, Apple, and you getting paid 6 figures, nigga, they expect you to work. Ain't nobody gotta pay you 6 figures and think that, like, that shit is depressing and shit. There was a fucking Indian dude driving a Tesla. He drove a Tesla off his cliff with his family in it. I'm sure that nigga worked it was around the Silicon Valley where they have all those tech jobs and shit. He probably was going through a lot of stress and he said, fuck this shit. And he went going crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, that should be like, they try to tell you like, this is what you want to just, even when you open your own business and everything, it takes time and energy. Nothing is really easy in its reality like that. You guys, you got to understand.
And you don't even really want it to be easy, because even if it was easy like that, it's gonna always be something hard. So it may not be like, let's just say you had all your parents give you money and shit. Financially, your life was easy, but that energy of trial and tribulation and hardness, it has to be injected into your life somehow. So this is how you may see a kid driving his dad's Lamborghini, fucking get in a car wreck and kill somebody. Because you see what I'm, because he didn't transmute the energy so it could play out. So he was too comfortable. So it played out as a catastrophic moment where that money that he thought was gonna save him, it ruined him. That's why you don't want to be too comfortable, because you be too comfortable, the universe will create a situation where no matter what you're doing, it's gonna make it where, like, you may be too comfortable, you got money, you out here having orgies and shit, fucking all these bitches and spending money having fun, then all that food you were eating, all that women you were fucking, you end up getting an STD and diabetes because you ate too much food and you fucked too many bitches because you were in your desires, doing too much, spending too much. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta, this is why sometimes the spirit actually helps a lot of you niggas out by keeping you niggas not having what you think you may want, because that shit will probably kill you. Some of you niggas wish you had $1 million, but if you had $1 million right now, can you lose that $1 million and still be happy? No, you can't. You probably fucking feel even more depressed right now. I'm sure some of you guys. If you can't lose it, then you don't need to have it. If you can't lose it and still be, because if you can't lose it and be normal about it, that means you don't have confidence you can get it again. Once you have confidence you can get it again, it's not a problem. So a lot of you niggas, if you wouldn't have hit the lottery right now and you lost that shit, you'd probably be more depressed in your life right now and develop PTSD compared to if you didn't even have the money. So you just want to focus on working on yourself. Focus on working on yourself, doing what you got to do, and keep it like that. You'll get what you need in time. By the time you get the shit you need, you probably don't even want it like that. You look at it from a different perspective. You may still want it and enjoy it, but you're gonna look at it from a different perspective than it was before, which is gonna be less animalistic. So, what stocks and cryptos are you into? Whatever one makes money. You got to know how to read the stock and the crypto to see which ones you're in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I got all these trolls, man. The fuck? But it is what it is. They're not being too difficult today, so I just let them ride. Once I start seeing a lot of spam and disrespectful, then that's when I'm gonna start getting. I might have to start blocking people. I don't even like to block people on this channel, to be honest. Unless you just, the only thing I'll block is if you keep spamming. Like, because then you're literally ruining the fucking, like, the shit, because you're putting so much information and it's distracting. But if it's other shit, I really don't even block, really, because I can give a fuck. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want, and it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's all I got today, man. Yeah, I'm on my mobile hotspot right now. Yeah. But yeah. But I'm gonna be doing well, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a fast in a few days, and I'm gonna be documenting this fast. I didn't document the last few fasts I did because I don't even like I don't like I told myself I wasn't gonna document it no more because I'm trying to get out that programming of like, oh, I'm going on a fast. Like, that shit is corny. It's supposed to be a lifestyle. And I'm not saying like you gotta never eat ever. Like, I'm saying like, if you're gonna at least fast, it should be like 10 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. It should be like that. But all this, oh, I'm gonna fast. Like, what's the point of fasting and doing all this if you're gonna go back to living your lifestyle? This is supposed to be a lifestyle change. And if you're at least gonna fast for a period of time and go back to your lifestyle, at least fast for at least a year straight, 6 months to a year, so you can fully cleanse the body out. And then once you do that, and when I say 6 months to a year, I'm not saying consecutively. I'm saying like in terms of increments, like 3 days at a time, or 3 day, 1 day, 4 day, 1 day, 7 day, 2 day, like in increments. So you can really cleanse the body out if you're at least gonna do that. But just doing a 1 day fast, like you see some motherfucker, oh, I did this 1 day. If I do a 1 week fast every year, and it's like on that 1 week fast, these niggas got a whole bunch of fucking supplements and bunch of like, oh, I got this fasting supplement that helps you. Like, bitch, you're not even doing it right. You need all these extra things in you. You shouldn't. It should just be something you do regular and continually. So you also got to be careful because motherfuckers, they'll tell you that, oh, they're fasting, but then they'll use all these other supplements. The only supplement, not even a supplement, but the only thing you can add to fasting is sodium. Sodium, salt. Add that to water. If you're feeling kind of drowsy or low energy, drink that and you'll be good. Anything else is all bullshit. You don't need it. You do not need it at all whatsoever. That's another reason they hating on my fucking channel, because I tell you straight up what it is. You don't, all these fruits, vegetables, nigga. All fruits is GMO. Why do you think when Monsanto shuts down these farmers, they say, "Oh, you have to grow our seeds. If you don't grow our seeds, if you copy our seeds, you got to go to jail for because our seeds are patented." So they can't, because it's patented, and you guys say, "Oh, they patented in nature." They're not patented in nature per se. They're more patented in the shit that they created. Those apples, those fruits, and all these things, they create a lot of these shits. So it's their fruit. That's why it's patented. So like they do all this shit. So it just shows you all of that, the fruits, vegetables, and all that stuff. It's not it's their shit. That's why they raise the prices on it, and all of it's poison. They put all these chemicals on the food. They put wax on the apples and shit because they have to poison it. You can't have your cake and eat it. Anytime you're gonna get something from the government, they have to poison it. They have to do something to it. Remember I said when you get food from the government, they have to poison it. When you get money from the government, they have to tax it. When you get anything you get from them, it comes with a cost. It's not just free of charge. I don't understand how people don't get. That's why I don't trust them at all from getting anything from them. Certain things obviously you got to use, but like I said, even the way they build the buildings, the houses and the structures, they're not even strong. Why do you think when a tornado or a hurricane happens, a house gets destroyed? You guys say, well, it's normal. That's how you're programmed. You're stupid. When a house gets destroyed by a tornado or a hurricane, it's not, the hurricane isn't supposed to destroy it, especially the hurricane and tornadoes on that level. It's not like they're extremely strong, because if they were that strong, whole cities would be demolished. But the strength that they are, you can build houses where it doesn't damage it. But they have to create a fake system, and part of their fake system is creating shit that can break down. So now they create cheap building, they create houses with cheap resources. So if they want to create a circumstance like a Hurricane Katrina, it could damage those houses, and then they can use their insurance companies and their systems to create a narrative to build the city up, and like what they did with Katrina. And then they do all this, or they can get rid of a certain people from a certain area, because if they make the building, everything is just designed the way. So when they make all these buildings, it's all fucking cheap. So everything you get from them is it's negative. This is why they don't teach you how to build your own shit. They teach you stupid crap about Christopher Columbus and George Wallace, dumbass shit in school. They don't teach you how to like build your own resource, how to create your own shit, because they want you to get it from them. So even if you do have money and you get it from them, you're getting a cheap ass fucking product, cheap ass shit. It's not the best because they're not going to build it the best for you. Shit's crazy. Like it's just funny, like because like what I think of, if you look at the way the whole capitalism works, it works as in the rich people, they make products and sell it at the highest possible price by making it at the lowest possible price. But the only way to do that is by having cheap resource. So if you have a cheap resource and the whole market is flooded with cheap products, you have all this money, but your money can only buy cheap shit. If you think about it, that's why you can tell the system's all bullshit. This is why I can tell you the people who run the system, they can't possibly spend money because it wouldn't make sense, because the only thing to buy with the money is cheap bullshit. Like if you ran the system, why would you use any of this cheap shit? You'll just have your own group of scientists or your own engineers create technology just for you and your people. So they probably on like got iPhone like 17 and shit, or technology that equates to that, where everybody's using the cheap shit based upon capitalism, because they can't make it too much for obvious reasons, including it may be too expensive and they don't want to give people, like, you just see what I'm saying? That's why they don't even teach people about technology and computers and shit in school, and all this other stuff that you think they should teach people, because they don't want you going to fucking Best Buy and buying a whole bunch of computer graphics cards and creating your own type of supercomputer, and then being able to do, like, they don't want you doing any of that shit. So nobody even knows how to even start to do that, because you can do shit like that, but you got to be very crafty and know what you're doing. But then that's what I'm saying, the education system got everybody fucked up. Everyone's an idiot. Nobody, and then people think it's normal, so now we're all dependent on their system and on their shit. We're all dependent on their crap. Imagine if we had our own little internet Wi-Fi, like, you know how they have internet, because the internet is one internet. But what if we create our own internet, which is not connected to their internet and is our own shit? But where, how do you even start to even create something like that? Like, why they don't teach nobody this shit? Like, where do you start to create some, like our own things that we can do, so we don't have to be a part of their shit? It's crazy. But maybe we're not supposed to do all that shit. I don't know. Maybe it's another way. I just look at it like it's just kind of weird, though. Yeah. Yeah, we got in for 2 hours. This is a long live stream. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to join real quick. I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on, let me drop the link. There's the link if anybody wants to join. But it's, hold on, I'll be right back, guys. Give me a minute. All right, what's good, everyone?
Yeah. But I'm good that I have my channel here though. I'm so glad I have this channel on me because my other channel I had, my no fake channel I had, the other one I had, it got deleted. I remember that channel. And I'm glad I have this one because I feel like this information really needs to be seen because I experienced this breatharian knowledge, like this information I'm telling you guys about the breatharianism, like I experienced it firsthand. Like and even to this day I'm experiencing it because like I'm not the same as I was 2 years ago, and it's hard to like think about it. Like it's weird. It's very hard for me to like fathom like how I, because this shit was just such a slow process. Because I remember like back in 2021, when I think back, I was so fucking like, not just with food, but with other things. Like even the shit I was watching, like a lot of stupid shit entertained me that it doesn't now. It's just crazy. Like the foods that I was liking, like I used to love eating sweets and shit, but I'm noticing like when the certain foods you're addicted to correlate to the emotions that you're in. So if you're craving a lot of bread and sweets, that means you have a lot of emotional problems. And when you eat bread and sweets, it caters to that feeling. So it soothes it. So you gotta once you get rid of these emotional blocks, you don't desire that no more because that energy of feeling of peace and bliss, consciousness, that's going to permeate more and it's going to replace those feelings of those emotional blocks you had. It's going to replace that. You see what I'm saying? So now, and you're able to feel that, and you don't need to eat no more to feel good because you already feel good. Because the only reason you're eating so much, because you don't, to be honest, the only reason anybody and everybody eats is because they don't feel good. You can say it's because they need food to starve and they're going to die and whatever, but it all boils down to they don't feel good. Because in order to become a breatharian, you have to obtain a certain consciousness, and that in consciousness, you're at a state of bliss and peace nonstop. Like you guys think I'm just speaking this out of my mind. Like I don't care if this is like real shit. Yeah, you can experience negativity. If something happens, like you lose somebody you love, or somebody fights you, you could still experience that. But the thing is, you're looking at it differently. It's like when you play a video game and you shoot somebody, is it the same impact as when you're playing it in real life and you shoot somebody? No, because it's a video game, you're looking at it differently. So look at it like that. I'm not saying you can't just go and kill somebody. I'm not saying that, but look at it like different filter, different lens. Video game, real life. Video game, real life. You different filter, different lens. So when you have the breatharian state consciously and you're on that frequency, which all that frequency is your energy channels are opening and permeating, which is where all our natural state of being. Every human being's natural state is blocked free of energy. The reason you're blocked is because of karma, certain things you did to block yourself up. Most of it due to karma. But that's the natural state. Once you're in that state, you permeating bliss, then nothing fucks with you. No, like things can fuck with you, but you feel different about it. Like, yeah, you may lose your car keys or somebody may have stole your car. You may, something negative may happen, but the best way I could put it, like when it's just like somebody's drunk and then something bad happens to them. You're gonna still feel bad, but you feel good and you feel like, you see what I'm saying? You're still high. It's like the news isn't as impactful as if you were sober. Even though how it's gonna be impactful no matter what, it's still not as impactful as if you were sober. So when you have your energy channels flowing, your natural state is able to see into the third perspective, looking in terms of you're not in your ego as much. So you don't give a fuck about shit as much no more. But then at the same time though, you gotta also, to obtain that state is a certain I don't want to say gift. It's, you got to work for that. The spirit is not going to just give you that state.
because some of you guys are feeling anxiety, depressed, and miserable, and you're like, I wish I could feel that. But some things you may need to feel depressed about. Maybe it's your karma. Maybe it's something that you need to learn. So maybe you need to be depressed right now. And through this depression, it's going to give you the strength, because once you get to that state, 'cause you have to go through things to make you something. You can't have everything just easy, and some things you need. So I'm not saying like we always need to be all happy, even though you do, but there's a time where what's needed is what's needed. You know, it is what it is though. It's time where what's needed is what's needed. Where the fuck did I have this shit on? I know I don't have this motherfucker's comment on my thing, because I be forgetting to put, because you know how you can push it right here. I be so deep in what I'm talking about, I forget to I forget to click it off. So this motherfucker's weak ass comment just sitting right there. Whatever. Yeah, I be so deep into to the mess. I don't really give a fuck about this whole chat shit, really, because really, like, only reason I will cut it off, like if it got too distracting for me and shit, then I'll cut it off, because and at that point, because it's distracting me. But I can care less about it. That's why I just, because when I be speaking, I be just so deep into information trying to get, because I feel like this information needs to go out there. I'm because you guys don't understand how serious this health crisis is. What's going on? This is a very serious health crisis going on, and it's not talked about, and it's hidden because it's at the early stages of it. A lot of people, the Gen Zs, the young people, they have a lot of problems, but they're not bubbling to the surface because of the age and where we're at. But as we get deeper, you're gonna start seeing weird diseases out of nowhere come, and all this other shit, and they're gonna start doing weird shit, and because it's gonna be like they even saying Gen Z's looking older. That if you're looking older physically, that's something's being done with on the organ. So that means the organs are being affected. So therefore, that's a health issue that could potential, if it is what I think it is, which is through the chemical, and it's being programmed into them. It's not natural how they're the way certain shit is. Even when you look at most motherfuckers nowadays, most people have health issues. Like if you look at your grandmother or somebody in your family, you will think like, you look at some human beings now, you will think like they're they're meant to be in a wheelchair, or they're meant to just lay in the bed all day. And when you somebody with problems with their, like, let's say you got a broken leg or you're disabled, I'm not talking about that, but you're talking about people who, like, you may have somebody that you know in your family or something, like they're just in the bed, or they're just always on medication and sick, and then they're programming you and talking to you like this is something that has happened to them and that they can't get out of it. Like, this is my disease and I was diagnosed with this. Like, that's type of shit is what is gonna be the norm of, like, people thinking like their illness and disease, and this all has to do with the desires and then the flesh, and people not wanting to sacrifice what they need to give up. Because when you when you look at what you need to give up, it usually entails something that you don't want to do. So all these people with these illnesses and these sicknesses and diseases, they speak like it's this fucking, like, something that's happening to them and that they can't get out of it. And like, I hate that fucking shit so much, man. Like, I see that shit so much, and this is why I say my channel is good that is out there, because there anybody that speaks like this, you need to understand that that's an agent, that's a bot, that's actual a demon, because they're gonna get you into this. What they're trying to do, this is a program that they put on. They don't know they're doing the program, so the person is not bad, but the Matrix puts these people in these programs. So people, when you watch videos like mine, you'll look at it like I'm crazy, or there's no hope, or it'll make you not take it serious, because you're going to start comparing yourself to these other people. But you need to understand, all these old people that got like that, they did it to themselves. And Every old person you see that's disabled and crippled, always remember that they were a Gen Z. They were young. They were your age. And they were, do you see any old, do you see anybody that's a Gen Z or around your age right now? Do you see them in a wheelchair? No, you don't. You see them living good and everybody talks they shit, acts arrogant as fucking. You know what I mean? But you don't see anybody like old because at one point they weren't like that. But you need to understand the time that we're in this energy with the government. They're creating a new type of thing where it's normal to be sick. Human beings back in the day were in the wilderness, were doing things. And this way, when you see like the native, they were doing shit. And it seemed like they would be able to be outside more and not get sick. And they could sleep outside and they weren't getting sick. Or they weren't like every year for every year of my life, I was getting sick at least once a year. This was the first year I didn't get sick in my life, and I was doing qigong. And usually I'll get like a cold or a stuffy nose or whatever, and I always get it around December. But this year I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it, and this was the month I started doing qigong was December 4th, and that year I didn't get sick. So the human beings back in the day, those human beings were practicing different. You don't know what they were. At the end of the day, nobody knows what they were doing back in the day. What they tell you on the internet and what you see on a fucking TikTok ain't shit. What they did, they were doing what the fuck I'm doing: fasting, energy, yoga, and all that. Because that's the natural holistic of this reality. They were doing that, so that's why they were able to go out and hunt and do shit. Because the human body was different. The human body now ain't shit. The human body has been programmed. So now this is why you see your grandmother, and you got to like help her get up to go do little menial things, like help her get up and stand up straighter. She got to walk slow and she has to have her meds and make sure this is there and everything's set up, but you can't eat this because it's gonna, well, you're not supposed to eat shit, but it's due to other negative reasons. Like you see what I'm saying? Like all of this shit was designed by them. So now you're looking at human beings as something that needs the system. Like you look at this person like, oh, they need to be in a nursing home. Nobody should need to be in a nursing home, no matter how old you are. A nursing home is for people who are sick, not old people. You're not supposed to be, just because you're old doesn't mean you're sick. If that's the case, there's fucking people that are 70, 80 years old doing qigong that fucking living like normal people. So you can get the fuck out of here with that shit. That shit needs to stop. That programming. I hate that fucking programming of you're old and you're sick. That shit needs to stop. It's done. Because if I'm not saying you won't see old sick people, but you see young sick people. Look at those ugly bald-headed ass kids at St. Jude's Hospital. Nigga, you see them niggas every day. They young and they fucking sick. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. So it's nothing to do with that. You didn't take care of the body. You have negative energy, karma, whatever it is. It's that. And that just happened. You just an old motherfucker with that. You could be a young motherfucker with that. You gotta just know, like that's what it is. And then they put these people on these medications that they do not need. And then they end up saying, oh, I need the medication, but you need the medication because you're addicted to it. So a lot of this, they'll say, oh, you get withdrawals from the medication. That's the same with heroin. You get withdrawals from heroin. So when you take a medication and you stop taking it and you feel sick, it's not because of your illness is coming back. Yeah, that is the case. Some of the times, most of the time, but also with that, it's the addiction. So when you stop taking meds, your symptoms will come up, okay? But also you have an addictive, because anytime you take a substance, you're addicted. If you're addicted to food, weed, if you can get addicted to food, weed, video games, what makes you think you can't get addicted to a prescription, which is a drug? So you see, it's adding another element to it. And then now people are just drug heads that are sick. And then they normalize it if it's a drug that doesn't get you high. Because the only reason they don't want you high and they look down upon you being high is because when you're high, you can't be productive to the system. That's why that's why they treat drugs that don't get you high better, and you don't need an ID. But the other ones you need an ID is because any type of drugs make an unproductive sheep. This is why China will kill you if you take drugs, because they want their system. The Masons who run the world, that part of the world, China, they want it ran a certain way. So that's why they make it like that. In America, they're probably more lenient on certain things because they're probably trying to play out a certain narrative, or they want to test it out to see how it goes. if they do drug, like it's all different depending on what sector they're running, right? In China is different, so they don't like when you're high. It's because you're an unproductive citizen. That's why you don't need no ID. That's all where it stems down to. They don't give a fuck about you being high because for your health, or they want you dead. If that wasn't the case, the DEA wouldn't be pushing this shit in the street. Even the whole fentanyl shit. I remember back in like 2014, I had an Instagram scam where I was like selling fake drugs and shit. And I would like tell people I'm selling drugs and I wouldn't send them shit. And then some dude asked me, fucking, do you have fentanyl? And he was like, "You have fentanyl patches." That was the first time I heard. It was like 2014. So this fentanyl shit, like, it's a fucking pharmaceutical drug. And now it's like you see this shit like it's on the streets and fucking every crackhead has it. I'm like, how? So this tells you that the government, the pharmaceuticals, the DEA, they're all in on it. Because how is fun? Like, I can understand meth. Meth, you can say some fucking cracker in his RV created meth. You can say that. Even though we know it didn't happen, you can get away with that. You can say they were in their fucking warehouse and they made it. Crack, you could say some nigga made it or they invented it. But when it comes to fentanyl, this is the name. Like it traces back to it. So for fentanyl to stop, for the fentanyl issue to be done, all they have to do is tell the fucking pharmaceuticals to stop fucking producing this shit. And then they say, well, some people may need it. Well, the people who actually need it, their pain is so evident, which it's not even a discussion. They can get it. But the average person who's taking it, they don't fucking need it. And it's just like, so like they want people to die because it's easier to kill the people off with drugs, because people are going to do drugs and be in those hours anyway. It's easier to kill them off than having to pay them Social Security and then having to watch over them and worry about ways to feed everybody and having to worry about how to make all these programs so people don't wake up, because there's going to be less people that they got to stop from trying to wake up and do all these things. And you see what I'm saying? Like they want to kill everyone off. That's why they're in on the cartels and the mafia is the fucking government. Because you got the government, which is the original, the biggest criminal organization. The biggest criminal organization in existence is the U.S. government. They created that term, criminal organization. They run the number one, and then they have their what do they call it, subsidiaries, whatever the fuck you call it. They got the little backups, their next niggas, their second hands, which is the mafia and the cartel. That's the second criminal organization. They need them so it could be a front for the U.S. government to funnel the drugs out and to do certain things. Like, for example, if a politician wants to get somebody killed, then they could go hire a mafia or a cartel and make it seem like it was just some sheep that did it. But it was really, they have to have a front. So that's why they have these little, like, they have these fronts. And then what you guys may say, well, why do they throw them in jail and they do all these raids? They have to do the raid to make it look legit, because they can always replace it. They don't care if they get rid of El Chapo. They can just go get another one. The fuck? And then put him in his place, and that place will be easily replaced, because who doesn't want to make billions of dollars, and who doesn't want to make, so they could easily replace it. So then they'll have the DAs come and do a raid. And this is how they're able to get so much intel on these people, because some of the people that are in the cartel and in the ranks are people of the government. So it's easy for them to get intel, and they can just do a whole case and take down the whole team. Because like they all work together, because they have to funnel these drugs and these guns some way. They even do this shit in Africa. They got the rebels, they got the terrorist rebels. And they give the rebels, like, how the fuck is Africa so broken? They don't have nothing there, and everything's being depleted. But these rebels have bazookas and guns and shit, because it's being given to them. They're being funded, and their job and their mission is to cause disruption while the land, because they have to. It's like a disruption to cause. To make it, because they for some reason, whatever reason, they want that land to be in distress. So they'll pay them, give them guns, and give them that to make that shit, because it's all connected. So certain areas, they test certain things, And it's like a big experiment. They do it for certain reasons based upon the energy of that location, the frequency of that area. They may say we got to run it a little bit this way. Because I noticed that. Because why are all these criminal organizations, they have all these they got all these fucking like ways to get access to shit. Like you got the mafia, they talk about makes billions of dollars a year. And then it was laundering money through this country, and they were laundering like billions through this country. It was a small ass country, and like they were able to get away with it and shit, but the country doesn't do it no more. But like it's hella weird and shit. Like, so you know this shit is all fake. And then they even have the hacking aspect, like they have anonymous. They make you think that, oh, there's somebody that's hacking and breaching Target and took all the things. Even that shit is government operations. That whole anonymous shit, that's the government hacking. They're using their shit and they're hacking and they're calling it anonymous. Ain't nobody out there. If your ass was hacking on that level, better believe you'll be shut the fuck down. Eventually, they'll shut you down. Especially if you're hacking on a level where you're breaching fucking point of sale system terminals and shit, where you're getting all this data information for banks and credit cards. Like if you're doing all that shit, you know they're gonna. So when you see all that shit, they try to blame it on criminals. They are the criminals. The United States of America is the #1 criminal organization. They created a system that breeds to these other criminals. So the hackers, they're just going off this. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all done. They control it. So now if the banks start collapsing and they want to steal your money, they could just say, oh, your money was missing from her account. And it was because of a hacker, but it really wasn't a hacker. It was the government that took it. But then they play behind the hackers. That's like what they do with the cartels and the mafias. They allow them. And then right now they're allowing it. Maybe in a few years, it'll get to a point where the energy isn't conducive for that. So what you'll see then is them get rid of the mafia and the cartel, them, and then they'll create a system where you can't even create that. And at that point, it's not that they just the mafia and cartel stop doing it. It's going to be because the government is making sure that shit don't. Because if the government doesn't want that shit, it ain't gonna go. Because no one's making the guns. Nobody's making. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it baffles me that people don't see it. Like the U.S. is the biggest criminal organization. They're literally printing money from thin air and making people slave for something that's worthless based on mind control. And then from that money that they're printing, so many people are getting hurt, killed due to cartel and mafia type activities, which stems for the whole reason for a cartel and a mafia is money. So if they're creating the money, they have control over them. This is why they're able to keep doing it. It's funny how the cartel always exists, but the people who run the cartel, the people who run the mafia, they don't always exist. There's always a different boss. There's always a different person. But yet the whole ideology of the crime, so that tells you that they created it. But if you play their role, you're a puppet. Just like Jay-Z's a puppet, the Chapo nigga or the fucking Giuliani, all these mafia bosses, those type of niggas, they're puppets. And then they take them out eventually to run shit. And then people get upset. They say, oh, you need to be a hardworking tax-paying citizen and not hurt. They're like, fuck this system. This system is criminal. Always keep in mind, like, in America, if you guys live in a Western country, you live in America, keep in mind this. When you look at China, North Korea, Africa, all these other countries, and you see how suffering they are, you see how much they don't give a fuck about them people. Always keep in mind the same people who are running this show, they running that show. So if you seeing people going through all the shit you see in Africa, it just shows you how fucking fucked up and sadistic these niggas are in the brain. So they will do that. They can do that shit to America if they really want, but they run the shit on a certain program. So this is why I say people gotta wake the fuck up. So if they try to do that shit, bring that shit over there to here, it won't be a problem. Because they're gonna start trying to probably bring shit, but people need to wake the fuck up. Shit is crazy. But I think I'm gonna end this live. If nobody wants to join, I think I left the link already. Yeah, I left the link. Yeah. Surprised there was 13 people in the room. Nobody joined. That's hella crazy. I actually thought somebody was gonna join. I wouldn't mind debating somebody or some shit, but it is what it is. People probably just scared to come online for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys, and then I'm gonna come back. I'll probably come back tonight. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm out. I'm out, guys. Wait, hold on. All right, I'm out. Peace.